Hey, this is Matt Riddle, the King of Bros, and you're listening to Kick Out Podcast.
I am the face that runs the place.
Long live living.
Goodbye and good night. Bang!
How's it going, folks? Welcome to another edition of the Kickout, your weekly pro wrestling guides right here on 90.3 Near FM, on all good podcasting providers and the Electronic Media Collective podcast network. I'm Dave Cullen and I'm joined by the mini Braun Strowman himself, Daragh Maher. Daragh, how are you this afternoon?
I'm fantastic, Dave.
Where'd you hear that, by the way?
I got called in work.
You called a mini Braun Strowman in work?
Someone in work says, "Oh, you look like Braun Strowman. Did you know that?"
Okay.
I didn't, but thank you. I'll take that compliment every day.
He's not a bad looking man, actually, to be honest with you.
He's not a bad looking man, and like his Tinder profile says, like lifting weights and eating steaks.
Yeah, right.
You know, I'm gonna have to take that mantra on now for life.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
Keep those stakes up, I suppose.
I can't do anything about my height, but I can do something about my gains.
Yes, you can. Joining us this week, our special guest from the Superior Comic Show, which is also available on the EMC podcast network, our guest Peter Hartie. Peter, welcome.
Well, lads, thanks for having me.
Awesome stuff. So you're coming from the Superior Comic Show. What's your knowledge of wrestling going into this? So,
I've actually been a huge fan of wrestling my entire life, and it's the reason my younger brother would never play with me when I was a kid, because I just would powerbomb him across the room.
Yeah, but I know your younger brother. He'd actually throw you across the room now.
But I instilled that fear when he was young.
Whereas now, it's like karma coming back to yourself, like so.
Is that why you took the wrestling training with me, so you'd learn to fall properly when he threw you around?
Yeah, that's 100%.
Makes perfect sense.
There's no interest in money or fame.
Makes perfect sense. Anyway, we're coming to you live from the FM studios in the beautiful North Dublin village of Coolock, and we'll be here for the next 2 hours, bringing you all the latest results, previews, rumours, and more from the world of professional wrestling. On this week's show, we'll bring you all the latest news from the world of pro wrestling, both here and abroad, reviewing the past week's action, a lot of action from the past week, NXT War Games, Survivor Series, WWE Raw, Smackdown 205 Live, and NXT. I'll also be previewing events coming up from the likes of OTT and White Collar Wrestling for Mags. All that to come, but first we're going to start, as always, with the news.
I hate to be the bearer of bad news. Also, good news, everyone.
We're going to start with news concerning Ric Flair. Ric Flair is currently suing his Legacy Talent and Entertainment, the company that represented him for several years until they parted ways with him in September. TMZ first reports on the lawsuit last week, noting that Flair is alleging Legacy Talent and Entertainment owes him at least $64,000 after hiring a lawyer to look after his finances. Of that money, Flair is saying that he didn't inform him about $25,000 they received from First Run Films, which was Rory Culp's production. Rory Culp is the man who directed the recent ESPN 30 for 30 documentary on Flair. The TMZ report also says that Flair has also noted a $12,000 royalty advance he never got for an endorsement deal with Jake's Fireworks. Flair says Legacy Talent and Entertainment told him that they are using the money to pay legal bills, which he required about them, saying Flair denied he approved. Shortly after his health scare earlier this year, Flair announced that he has parted ways with Legacy Entertainment and Talent with their CEO, Matilda Morris Zamnoni. He is now represented by Get Engaged Media. Kind of a strange one, Get Engaged for a start anyway, so.
Get Engaged Media. Okay. So it's a good name, you know. EMG or GEM. Gem.
Gem.
So, yeah, there you go.
Gem. That's actually very more ironic when you think about it.
Yeah.
Gem for more engaged. When you think about it.
Yeah.
So it's kind of a weird one, isn't it? So.
Yeah, it's. So he's basically alleging that they're stealing money from him.
Basically, or they owe him money.
Yeah.
Like so.
Yeah. It's interesting.
It seems like an amount of money that Ric Flair wouldn't care so much about.
$46,000.
It's a lot of money for us.
Care about that.
It's a lot for us, but for him,
I think he would still care about that.
Maybe.
It's as well as the cash. It's probably the principle as well. Like, I'm not letting you get away with it.
Yeah,
you know.
No, I suppose you're right with the principle and stuff like that. Yeah. So
it's the principles, damn it.
It's the principle, like with all that money involved. So.
Yep.
It's a shame as well because those are the guys. Have you guys actually seen the 30 for 30 yet?
I haven't gotten the chance to sit down and watch it.
Neither have I yet. Like, I heard so many great reviews about it, but like not yet. So
here's quite sad.
All right. Well, imagine a lot of Ric Flair's past would have its
moments. All right, yeah. But yeah, moving on from.
Safer, yeah.
Yeah, I think that's everything. It's kind of until the court case is finished, can't really say anything more. Really
speaks for itself. Yeah.
Yeah. Moving on to Drew McIntyre. Reports have suggested that Drew may have suffered a torn bicep near the end of his match with Andres Almas at NXT TakeOver War Games over the weekend. At the end of the match, McIntyre held on to the top rope with his left arm while being given a DDT off the top. McIntyre grabbed his bicep after and was receiving medical attention following the match. That DDT was the finish to the match, which saw Almas win the NXT Championship. In his post-match interview on Facebook Live, Triple H said that McIntyre might have torn his bicep, would be undergoing an MRI to determine the extent of the injury, and could have surgery this week depending on the results. McIntyre also spoke about the injury in a promo after the show, saying he probably wasn't good, but he wouldn't know anything until talking to the doctor. I don't know about you guys, but I kind of noticed that there was something wrong after that.
Yeah, he did seem to hold onto his arm.
Yeah, it wasn't like a disappointment. It wasn't a work sort of thing. There was something seriously wrong there.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was it has it been determined that it was definitely the DDT off the top rope, because there was a move beforehand.
I didn't notice him being hurt at all, to be honest with you.
I didn't notice it either.
It was only when the match was over and his arm
and he was sitting there holding his arm. Yeah, that's the same thing I thought. And when the medical guys came in too,
he looked worried.
Yeah, he did, which is horrible. It looks like that. Like, obviously, we'll talk about it more when we get into the review. It's a big surprise that Almas actually won.
Huge surprise.
But it looks like that was still going to be the plan either way. Maybe. But I don't know about, maybe he had a plan for McIntyre to get rematches and stuff like
Perhaps. But an injury like this, a torn bicep, historically is not a good injury for a wrestler.
No, you're looking 6 months.
6 months at least.
6 months.
Kevin Nash had a similar injury. He was out for almost a year. So.
He was, actually, yeah. So it is a horrible. John Cena had it too, actually.
Well, no, that was different. He had a pectoral muscle.
Pectoral, yeah. And
no, it wasn't there. No, yeah, sorry.
Was that when he returned at the Royal Rumble that year?
Yeah.
That's it, yeah.
No, but wasn't that a knee injury that happened that year? Was it?
I thought it was pectoral. And
definitely a torn pectoral. Like, you know.
I know he was out for a while.
Yeah, he's supposed to be
remember Royal Rumble match? He got thrown over the top rope and his knee just went a different angle to the rest of his body, pretty much.
Well, that didn't put him out. That was just a sprain. He wore a brace. He wore a brace, and like that. You're thinking of 2004 Royal Rumble.
He stone cold it for a while, did he? With the braces underneath.
Pretty much, yeah. That was it. No, but he was fine. He wrestled Big Show at WrestleMania. That's where he won his first US title. So.
But
you have to feel for him, though.
Yeah, torn bicep is obviously a horrible injury. Hopefully it's not that bad. But either way, we'll see.
It'd be interesting to see where the NXT picture will go now. With this.
I would just wonder, because obviously we saw a lot of call-ups this week. Now, I know it focused a lot on the women.
Yeah.
But if McIntyre wasn't injured, and this obviously was the plan to win the match,
right,
would he have been getting called up?
Ooh. I don't know, because he has stated he did want to be in NXT.
Yeah.
It seems too soon for him to be called up, in my opinion.
I don't know. I think he's the perfect guy for Vince. Like, tall, muscular, long hair.
I'm not saying he's not capable of being the main roster yet, but I think the idea is, like, it's similar to like a lot of the better wrestlers who are, especially the better single wrestlers in OTT. They do have a bit of a run in there before they move on to the main roster.
Yeah, but just comparing to...
It's too soon.
Well, you say too soon, but comparing to the ones that did get called up, a lot of them you would say that's too soon.
They could have been building up to a 3MB versus the Shield.
There's WrestleMania 34 for you right there.
There we go.
All I have to do is so I have to do then is make Drew and Heath heels.
It definitely was a bad couple of weeks for 3MB. Both guys losing the world titles anyway.
Yeah.
You know, now it just calls for Heath Ledger to save the Heath Slater to save the day and to.
I'm sorry, but he's
win the Universal Championship on Brock at Royal Rumble. There's your replacement for Finn.
I can't. No, I'm sorry. He's Pelvis Wesley to me. That's the way it goes.
Okay, well then he can be Southpaw Regional Wrestling's world champion. How about that?
That was 80. That was like 30 years ago. That's the thing. I don't know what we're supposed to be.
Would that bring enough money? Like, the man has kids.
I know he has kids. You're right. Yeah. I don't know if Southpaw paid enough for those kids.
Who knows? We'll move on anyway. Insane Championship Wrestling's biggest show of the year took place last Sunday at the SSE Hydro in Glasgow, Scotland. They hosted Fear and Loathing 10 with Kevin Nash as the guest general manager for the night. Significant results included Bram defeating Ravy, Davey, Joe Henry, Joey Felch, DCT, Aaron Echo and Kid Flight in a ladder match for a future ICW World title shot. Davey was on the top of the ladder when Session Matt Martina ran in and turned on him, helping Bran tip him over the ladder and through a table outside. The Polo Promotions defeated the Maulers to regain the ICW tag titles. Kenny Williams defeated Rey Mysterio Jr. Davey Boy defeated Mickey Whiplash, Jimmy Havoc and Chris Renfrew in a 4-way King of Insanity match. Apparently it was a wild match, like they were apologizing each other on bricks and stuff.
It's involving Jimmy Havoc, Chris Renfrew and Mikey Whiplash.
Enough said. And Stevie Boy won.
Yeah.
Casey defeated Kaylee Ray and Viper in a steel cage to win the ICW Women's title. Lionhearts defeated Rob Van Dam and Zach Gibson in a 3-way elimination match. And ICW 0G champion BT Gunn defeated Joe Coffey to win the ICW World Heavyweight title by a crossface submission. So, pretty awesome show. I'm still I can only imagine the reaction in particular about Session Matt turning heel.
I know. I say that. I don't know. Maybe a nice heel run would be good for her.
It'll be interesting to see how they present her as a heel.
Yeah, she could never be a heel here if she was continue with the name Session Matt. It could never happen here.
How could she be a heel if she was Session Matt's here?
You'd have to be the anti-Session Matt, like Right to Censor or something like that. She'd have to be the anti-Session Matt.
Well, I'm not sure about that. You could still use the Session Matt, but probably just go too far to the point where it's like you're uncontrollable.
Wouldn't work. Wouldn't work. People still cheer for that.
Yeah,
wouldn't work.
Apparently, though, what I've heard or what I've seen is that they're presenting Martina being very well dressed, like a black dress and stuff like that. So.
I don't know about that. She showed up still in the Session Matt gear. Yeah. I don't know what's going to happen after that.
Yeah, we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
The reaction for this, let me tell you guys, I was watching Survivor Series in Buskers in the Ball with the guys in Low Blows, and the news was coming through about Session Matt turning heel, and a lot of people were not happy at all.
Really?
Not happy at all.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't know. I thought it'd be a nice change anyway.
It'd be interesting.
It's good to experiment outside of Ireland.
I think it's more to do with the fact that she's aligning herself with Bram. We were talking about this last week.
Yeah, that's probably it. Let's not get into that again.
Last week we talked about the reason why Bram wasn't booked for OTT. He was originally booked for an OTT show, and he was removed from it because of his history involving physical abuse on an ex-girlfriend. Supposed. It's allegations.
Well, you can't be too careful with reports with all this stuff going on now.
Yeah, like we talked about last week, how in today's society, if you are charged or if it's reported, you're automatically guilty in everyone's eyes.
Yeah.
And the fact that the charges were dropped and everything like that, and we started talking about it because he was on a different podcast. He was on Flash Morgan Webster's podcast, also a wrestler, and he does a podcast called Wrestling Friends where he interviews different wrestlers, and it was the first time he actually went through what actually happened. And it can be taken two ways. Take it in the way that, okay, this story is too intricate to be false. You can't make this up on the fly. Or on the other side, people be thinking, well, this sounds like a load of bull. So
protecting himself.
Exactly. So it's difficult.
It's one of those. There's only two people who know.
The only two people that know, is him and his girlfriend. And the girlfriend wants to drop charges. She obviously is not going to say anything. But I don't know. I disagree with the idea that he got booted off his show because of it, because he wasn't guilty of anything. You know, it's people taking their own thoughts into their mind and stuff
Yeah.
like that. And I've seen too many
indeed.
people on Twitter go on as if they're like, "Oh, he's guilty," and I know he's guilty. It's like, no, you don't know he's guilty because you weren't there.
Yeah, I suppose though with the shows, while I agree that they're wrong for just kicking him off,
Yeah.
in their eyes they're probably protecting their image, kind of thing, because they see the negative stuff he's getting on Twitter. Of
course.
people are
Yeah,
saying
but
he's guilty.
I know, I can but. You know, it's still wrong to try and stop a man from being able to work. Like, this guy just wants to go on and he just wants to wrestle. He wants to do what he loves. He wants to do what he's good at.
Whatever the case, ICW are not stopping him from this. Like,
No,
he's
and-
getting the title shots.
Exactly. I'd
So-
applaud for ICW if you keep going like
Yeah.
that. I applaud CCW for having him on the show as well. I kind of just wish that OTT might have just been a little stronger in their sense and just said, look, listen, he's going to be on the show. He did nothing wrong in the eyes of the law. So we have to go by that.
We'll never say never. It could easily appear like at some stage.
I
next
don't
year.
think he ever will, because this thing will happen again.
Yeah, but who knows? Well, it remains to be seen. Like, it's one of these things. Aside from that, like, BT Gunn is now the undisputed champion. He's both a Zero G champion and world heavyweight champion.
Is there Zero G like their intermediate title? Is that?
Their mid-card title, yeah.
Yeah, I don't pay enough attention
Their
to
version of the
ICW.
Intercontinental title, so
Yeah.
no, it's a good title. Like, you know, like likes of Kenny Williams and Zach Gibson and Lionheart have all held that title. So it's as accomplished as the world title, one could argue.
Cool.
So we'll move on anyway. Some news concerning David Otunga this week.
Yeah, WWE performer David Otunga and fiance Jennifer Hudson have split up, and Hudson has filed for a protective order against the former wrestler. Hudson's publicists told the People magazine on Thursday that the two have been in the process of ending their relationship, and she filed a protective order against him earlier in the day. The two have been a couple for nearly 10 years. Tracy Rizzo, Otunga's attorney, countered to People, claiming that Hudson is making up a story in order to gain custody of the couple's 8-year-old son, David Otunga Jr. The attorney says David Otunga has been trying to negotiate the terms of an amicable parenting agreement with Miss Hudson for several weeks now. However, when it became apparent, Miss Hudson that Mr. Otunga would be the parent granted residential care of the child. As a result, Mr. Hudson being the child's primary caregiver, while Miss Hudson pursues her career all over the world. Miss Hudson decided to file a merciless petition for order of protection in an effort to gain an unfair advantage in the custody dispute. As a result of Mr. Otunga's WWE career, Miss Hudson felt that she could give an award-winning performance in court to portray herself as a victim.
Blimey.
Mr. Otunga has never abused or harassed Miss Hudson or their son, and it is unfortunate, especially in today's climate, that she would feel the need to make these false allegations against them. Mr. Hudson looks forward to his day in court and being awarded residential care of the party's only child.
That lawyer is vicious.
Yeah. There's some of those lines, an award-winning performance in court. Whoa.
That could backfire.
It
Backfire
could.
big time.
It could. I just have the question, right? If David Otunga was this great lawyer, why does he need an attorney?
Yeah, well, clearly this guy has a better way of words than him.
It's a girl.
This lawyer, I should say, has way better more words. One thing, am I the only person who didn't know that these two are a couple?
No, I hadn't a clue.
Yeah, me neither.
Really?
Yeah, I hadn't
They
a
were
clue.
always talking about, like, it was always mentioned.
Was it
on
mentioned on
commentary.
WWE?
Yeah.
On commentary?
Yeah, JBL always talked about it with Otunga.
I must have been.
Yeah.
It must have been a good match.
They stopped obviously this week because of the whole thing. They're not saying actually he wasn't even there this week. They had Shawn Michaels there for the pre-show instead.
Oh, wait, did he talk about it in pre? Did he talk about it when he was in pre-show?
No, when JBL and Otunga was on commentary with Redello, they used to always talk about. On SmackDown.
Okay. I must admit. Well, you know, SmackDown then was it had a lot to watch, so it's easy to get distracted by the commentary. So
yeah, sure.
Or not.
Just not paying attention. You're not watching.
No, I'm not paying attention to the commentary at the time. Sometimes the commentary it depends.
Yeah.
It's not like a Booker T, Corey Graves thing like over Jason Jordan. It's like one of these things where
Let's not get into that again.
we'll talk about it when we talk about Raw. So I have a theory. Basically, I'm on the theory where Jason Jordan is Booker T's son as opposed to Kurt Angle. That's why he's been so vicious to him in commentary.
Queen Charmel is not going to be impressed with that.
Probably not.
because
It could
well, it's
work.
not true, so it's fine.
It makes sense when you think about it, like, you know. But no, it's kind of like there you go. Like the thing is, like Jennifer Hudson has a huge history when it comes to like court. Like, did you know
Does
that?
she?
Do you know that? I think it was her mother was murdered.
No.
Yeah, she like and she. I think she. It was like either before or after she won American Idol. I don't know how long ago it was now, but like it was all over the news in America
She
at the
won
time.
American Idol. I confess, I saw she. I know that she won an Oscar before
I think
for
she won-
a film. That's and I knew she sang.
Sorry, she didn't win it, but she. It was like a year or two later where she was on that Showgirls thing with Beyonce, and she won an Oscar for it. So yeah.
Okay, I didn't know that. But yeah, it's looks like it might be a little bit of a messy court, and they're gonna have a few fights.
We'll see what.
So get the popcorn ready, guys.
Yeah. Once there's no slams or anything like that. But anyway.
David Otunga couldn't wrestle that well anyway, so he's fine.
He's not bad. Wasn't bad, was he?
He wasn't great either.
I suppose.
His height was winning the tag team championship with John Cena. That was about
I always seen him as kind of a poor man's Chris Masters.
Oh, that's a good comparison.
it. Yeah.
And Chris Masters wasn't even that great either.
No, he wasn't. He was the side piece. I was like, oh, can anyone get out of his master lock this week?
There's a masterpiece and there's a side piece
Side piece.
with a law degree, but a very good law degree to be fair to him. But obviously he's not as vicious as his lawyer
Obviously
here.
not a good enough law degree to be able to represent himself.
Cody Rhodes defeated Christopher Downs in a Texas death match to retain his Ring of Honor World title at the show. Those of Ring of Honor believe the injury to Kazarian is not serious, but he won't be able to be at the show in Oklahoma, which I think is going to be. I was at on the Monday, I think it was. They believe it's that Daniels will be able to work that show as well. So I never seen anyone take a indie taker badly.
Yeah. I didn't see it now
I
myself.
have to watch that match, by the way.
I didn't see it. I saw the table spot, the flaming table spot, and
Oh yeah.
Daniel's back after it. I was
Didn't
like,
look good.
it's pretty bad.
Yeah.
It wasn't horrible, but yeah, there was definite burn marks in there.
It wasn't like Axel Rotten bad, was it?
No,
Because he got burned a lot in
Yeah.
ECW.
It was on his shoulder blades, and there was
Oh.
there's like two patches, one on each shoulder blade.
Ugh,
Yeah.
man. So there you go. Did you know, by the way, Stephen Amell was involved in all this?
I
with the Bullet Club?
did hear about it, but can I just say I've fallen behind on my DC TV shows. But I didn't realise Team Arrow was so lit now, so I kind of need to catch up.
I know they made him an honorary member of the Bullet Club.
Yeah, because like Stephen Amell, you probably know yourself, has a history of Cody Rhodes when he back in
Stardust.
WWE days, like and stuff.
They
like
made
that.
his own T-shirt as well. Did you see that?
I didn't know that. No.
Yeah, they had like a Bullet Club, but they called it the Vigilante Club for him. And they, the skull that's on the Bullet Club, it
has a cape. It
has a green mask on it.
You can't see his eyes.
Yeah, it's
So-
brilliant.
I just find it kind of weird, he's in the TV show, he's the only character who doesn't use a weapon with bullets, and yeah, he's now on the Bullet Club.
I know.
It's Arrow Club.
Arrow Club.
Vigilante Club.
Arrow Club.
It's Vigilante Club. That's what it is.
It should be called Arrow Club. Makes more sense when you think about it.
But he's a vigilante, so that's what it is.
I know, but he uses arrows instead of bullets.
Yeah, like I wouldn't call the Young Bucks bullets. You know what I mean?
What?
He said he's a vigilante. I mean, I don't know what I was saying there. Never
No.
mind.
Move on.
I
then,
just I'm leaving, lads.
No. It's funny. It's funny. Like I'm with you on the Arrow Club thing, so more than the vigilante thing. But move on. Like developments over the Matt Hardy trademark.
Yeah, Matt Hardy's trademark on the broken Matt Hardy gimmick will be published for opposition on December the 19th, with any parties who want to oppose given a 30-day period from that date to file an opposition, according to a report from PWInsider.com. The report notes that if there is no opposition filed, then the trademark will officially be in the hands of Matt Hardy and will be available for him to use within the WWE or independently from the company.
It could be broken after Christmas.
Which is interesting because he sent out a tweet after the pre-show match against Elias, which I heard he lost. I confess I didn't watch the pre-show, so I don't know.
I seen it, and but
he sent out a tweet saying something's got to change.
yeah, but not only that, like there's a video that was put up by WWE.com on YouTube where he felt where he sort of sensed that as well. So
Yeah,
they're banking that it's going to happen. So
I think they have an idea that's already happened. I think they've been in discussions with Impact and they've said, look, listen, we're not going after it anymore.
they can't.
You can have it, it's too much because they're already broke.
See,
as it is.
WWE might as well buy it out of threat. You give us a trademark or
WWE
buy
said
it.
from the start, look, listen, we don't want to get involved. It's up to you and it's up to Jeff and obviously up to your other representatives to get it.
Yeah.
But they're not stepping in.
Yeah, but it looks like it's finally going to happen.
Yeah, hopefully, because look, Jeff is not going to be back. He said he did an interview over the week, and he says he hopes to be back in time to work WrestleMania.
Yeah.
That's still 5 months away.
Yeah.
So they need something, because Matt Hardy is struggling, and he's struggling bad in being in that shuffle at the moment. He needs something to stand out.
I've always felt, even back in the old days when he was in WWE, I always felt that he needed that. And a different gimmick to get him over. He's a great worker.
And he had it. He just couldn't figure something out.
He had a great gimmick as a singles competitor when he was a heel with the version 1.
Yeah.
That was brilliant.
That was awesome, I thought. Yeah, with Shannon Moore and Crash Holly at the time.
Exactly. So that was fine. But now that he's back and he's just being Matt Hardy, it doesn't work. And I've said it on the show before as well. Like, since WrestleMania, I thought both the Hardys have actually been pretty poor since they came back.
In general?
Yeah, not like poor matches, but just booking wise and stuff.
I wouldn't blame.
I wasn't feeling it.
I wouldn't blame him for booking.
Yeah, I just wasn't feeling it. Like, they won the tag titles, then they lost the tag titles, and then they were never in the title picture again.
To be honest,
obviously, then Jeff went out injured. So,
well, the way they're booking it, with the possibility now that it could be this broken Matt Hardy thing, actually makes it almost worth it now.
Broken Matt, and then.
One
day when Jeff is ready to come back, I brought a friend with me. You could call him you can call him Nero.
Yeah, he broke his shoulder, and now look at him.
Yeah.
So
yeah, no, I gotta say, like what you're saying there about the Hardys being poor, even with booking, you know me, Jeff Hardy's been my favourite since I was a kid.
Yeah.
So
a lot have,
so no matter with the booking, I'll always be pro Hardys.
Yeah. We'll move on anyway. So an update about former WWE star James Harris, aka Kamala. He was during the week taken off life support and is now breathing in his own accord. He is awake and alert enough to understand his family and doctors earlier in the week, and has been warned off the medication after post-surgery, as he'd not been able to talk due to the fact that he still have a tube in his mouth to assist him medically. On behalf of the Kick Out, we want to wish him all the best and foster his family and prayers. What was actually the problem?
I don't know. Yeah, he had to have emergency surgery. Something happened.
Yeah.
I confess I haven't been following this story. I saw the little updates about how he's like on a breathing
on life support,
on life support. Thank you. And then he was taken off life support, and I thought maybe he was taken off life support because he's going to pass away. No, he was taken off life support because he's fine now. So
yeah,
I don't know. Like, good news is he seems to be fine.
Yeah, which is great
to hear.
Yeah. So I wish him all the best with that.
Exactly. And one last news story before we end it.
Yeah.
WWE have announced their schedule for pay-per-views in 2018.
Okay.
One big noticeable thing about it is it's dialed back. We're not getting 2-week pay-per-views.
Great.
You know, so it's going to be
the
good.
Stress, listen, the stress for that for us as well. So, like it was getting too much.
All that editing just was terrible. But. And it's a good thing as well, so they can actually build storylines now.
What I was just going to say there, we were talking about it the other day, that they just didn't seem to have time to build a believable story.
Exactly. They can't just let things grow organically and stuff like that. I agree. Like, some highlights as well from it. The Money in the Bank pay-per-view is now going to be a co-branded one. That's
way better. That makes way more sense.
Now, what do you think is going to happen in terms of the Money in the Bank matches? Because obviously SmackDown had it last year.
Right.
Had the first ever Women's Money in the Bank Championship.
Right.
They are not going to stop doing that. They're going to continue it.
Oh, absolutely.
I personally would prefer, instead of seeing 4 Money in the Bank matches, I'd keep it at 2 and 8 competitors in each one, 4 from Raw, 4 from SmackDown.
It works for me.
Yeah, I was just thinking the same. I think 4 would be a bit too much.
And whoever holds it can go on both shows.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
I'd like that.
That actually works way better. So it doesn't have to be a SmackDown going after the WWE title.
No, say for example if Becky Lynch won it.
Right. She could go after the Raw Women's title.
She could go after the Raw Women's title at any stage.
But she could wrestle on both shows, or she could just cash in on both shows.
You can cash in at any stage.
Oh, I like it. Yeah. Makes more sense, actually. So that's a way to go.
Gives them potential to surprise the crowd as well.
Exactly.
Are we still sticking to pay-per-views named by this same name as matches? Hell in the Cell, so on.
They're still there, so yeah. One Elimination Chamber is still there, as far as I'm aware. It is. It's going to be a Raw one in 2018, which is good. That's February 2018, so we're going to see probably Braun Strowman in that. At one stage he'll probably explode out of the pod or something like that.
You put people through both.
He'll put everyone through everything.
Yeah, put them through the cage.
Yeah.
Even though it's reinforced nowadays, like it was very impressive last year.
But okay, so it's gonna be that's before Mania.
Yeah, isn't that like usually the like last title shot before?
Pretty much,
Mania?
yeah.
Yeah, I don't see Brock working that.
The Elimination Chamber?
I don't see Brock working that. No way.
You could.
I don't see it. I think what they'll do is
Has Brock ever been in the Elimination Chamber?
no.
He hasn't.
Not as far as I'm aware.
No, it'd be great if he was on it.
I like if he does, fantastic.
Yeah.
That's a guaranteed prediction of him winning. But I think because of the plans, obviously everyone's aware that it's the worst kept secret at the moment that it's going to be Brock and Roman or Mania.
At the moment, yeah.
So one, I think you can guarantee it's going to be a SmackDown winner in the Royal Rumble because they're not going to have because they're going back to Philadelphia for the Royal Rumble this year, which is where Roman won it the last time, where he was booed out of the building for winning it. Even The Rock couldn't save him that night.
Yeah.
So I think you can guarantee a SmackDown winner.
Or someone from Raw could win it and go after the WWE title.
Why not?
Could. I thought that as well, but I don't know if that allows them to. Because last year's Royal...
It should.
Last year's Royal Rumble was said the winner of that of it goes after their show's title. So I don't know. It depends on how they do the rules this year. But yeah, I can think a SmackDown winner will probably win it this year.
It could easily be Kevin Owens and goes after the Universal title. Now it's
It could be. But that's the thing. It depends on what rules they bring out for it. Because they change it every year.
Yeah, so. especially like considering, especially if there's someone who's gone through turmoil in their brand. Like, for example, weird reference, but Chris Benoit, when he won the Royal Rumble, he was a SmackDown guy. He went after Raw because he had a feud up to that point with Paul Heyman, who was the general manager. Yeah. Here's Kevin Owens in a similar position with Shane.
Yeah, and obviously there's the whole Batista thing. Remember when he won it and it was like...
if Batista wins it, for God's sake.
No! He does want to come back though.
I heard that. But
full-time schedule as well. I wouldn't mind if it was a full-time schedule, if he came back.
Can he though?
He says he wants to. That's includes...
Can he though?
Can he?
Yeah.
What do you mean, can he come back? Of course he can come back.
He's 48 years old.
Triple H is 47 and he's still wrestling.
Part-time.
Don't put down Drax the Destroyer.
Yeah. Don't you dare.
Yeah, that's Drax the Destroyer as opposed to Batista. There's two, although they're same plate, but actually, I'm doing that.
Drax could be his Demon King.
That could work.
I'd love to see Marvel allow that happen, alright.
Yeah, we actually would be class.
But yeah, just so the Elimination Chamber may
Batista
actually work. I was going to say the Elimination Chamber may actually, because it's a Raw one, it may actually work as a number one contenders spot.
Yeah.
Which then Roman will win, so there's another easy prediction. But anyway, some notable ones that will not be there. No Mercy is gone.
Okay.
Which is weird because No Mercy is such an iconic pay-per-view. I thought they'd keep
it's one of the longest ones at the moment.
Yeah.
Went along to Big Four.
Yeah, because he kept Fastlane and stuff, and I don't know why. But another one that's gone, and we're all sad to see it go. Great Balls of Fire is gone. It's not coming back.
I'm just gonna miss the team music. That's
yeah.
Team music.
Goodness gracious, Great Balls of Fire.
Yeah, but we won't laugh at the poster anymore. I'm not going to mention what that is, but you can get the hints.
You know what it is.
You know what it is. The Johnny Cash song, "We Never Hurts."
Yeah, we'll go through it very quickly.
Yeah, go for it.
Like there's one each month, so
go for it.
End of January 28th Royal Rumble, that'll be both shows obviously. February 25th in Las Vegas is going to be the Elimination Chamber and Raw. March 11th in Columbus, Ohio is Fastlane, which is going to be a SmackDown one. Then it's WrestleMania 34, obviously April 8th in New Orleans. Backlash is going to be the first pay-per-view after WrestleMania, which will be a Raw exclusive one.
Where it should be, by the way. It's usually always the pay-per-view after WrestleMania. Back in the day, anyway.
May the 6th. Payback is then May the 27th, which is a SmackDown one in Baltimore. Then we have Money in the Bank, June 17th, which is a co-branded event like we just discussed. After Money in the Bank, it's Battleground, which is a Raw exclusive pay-per-view. That's June 15th. July 15th, sorry, not June 15th. July 15th in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Then we have SummerSlam, of course, from Brooklyn, August 19th. Then Extreme Rules, September 16th, 2018, which will be a Raw one. That's going to be in San Antonio, Texas. Hell in a Cell is going to be SmackDown exclusive again next year. September 30th, Nashville, Tennessee. TLC is going to be a Raw one once again. That's October 21st in Boston, Massachusetts. Survivor Series, of course. If it was announced during the week, it's going to be in LA. That's November 18th. And then the last one of the year would be Clash of Champions, which again will be a Smackdown one, December 16th, 2018, from San Jose, California.
And they're all spread out, which is the important
all spread
thing.
out, one a month, apart from in May, where at the start of the month it's Backlash, and then at the end of the month it's it's going to be Payback, which is going to be Smackdown, which makes sense because you want to keep the first one after WrestleMania probably quite close to it. One other interesting one, apart from the Survivor Series, all the big pay-per-views are the co-branded one. The pay-per-view after it are all Raw exclusives.
So straight after Raw.
Yeah. So pretty much like after the
They should make that
after the Royal Rumble, it's Raw.
Yeah. After WrestleMania.
After WrestleMania, Raw.
SummerSlam,
Raw.
Survivor Series.
And like I said, after Survivor Series, it is SmackDown. But also after Money in the Bank, because that's going to be a big one now as well, because it's co-branded. That's also going to be Raw.
It's like that's like an incentive for Raw. After like they won Survivor Series, therefore they get Raw pay-per-views first. And SmackDown, and because SmackDown are first after Survivor Series, that already ruins who's going to win next year.
Yeah,
probably. Now let's continue on with our results of the week.
Oh my God! What the hell is going on? Oh my God!
NXT's themes are always way better than the main roster.
Well, yeah, but I will give props to the main roster one for Survivor Series one, because at least they attempted like a Rocky sort of higher, faster paced one. I know it was Kid Rock, but still, at least it was a decent effort.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, NXT do always win.
Indeed.
And they always win at the weekend because they always have the better pay-per-views.
Indeed. Well, in this case today, in your opinion?
Yep, I still think they do. I think we'll get into it more. Like there was 2 matches I thought that let Survivor Series down. That's why NXT were better.
I better know what the one of them is anyway.
What one do you think?
Well, definitely the last match.
Yeah. Obviously, yeah.
We'll get onto it anyway. The first match, Lars Sullivan against Cassius. Oh no, Lars Sullivan's scary.
I loved this because it was just 2 huge guys beating the crap out of each other.
Yeah. It was Sullivan who beat Uno after his freak accent, he calls it. It's like a I don't know if there's that move, but he has it like in a German suplex and just slams him down.
Yeah. It's like he lifts them and then he just throws them away.
Pretty much.
It's class. It's brilliant.
Yeah.
Like you're saying, they're building him.
They're building him.
They're building
him like their version of Braun Strowman.
I think so.
The entrance makes it
he
it
was
more
so
scary.
over, like. He was so over. They loved them.
They made him look strong, so to speak. Anyway, now this is probably one of the matches of the weekend: Aleister Black versus Velveteen Dream. This was a class match, and for so many reasons. Not just the crisp wrestling and the striking, but the psychology of the match was just.
It was my favourite match of the weekend. Just I thought the storytelling in the ring was amazing as well. Just without just to have the ability to tell the story with your moves, with, as you said, the psychology was just so brilliant.
Yeah, it was a rivalry that we've been talking about, especially yourself, where it has something.
Yeah,
like,
it's something that was just so simple as I want him to say my name. It's just such a simple storyline of what he wants and why he's going after it. But the build up for it was just so good.
It was class, yeah.
From him like stealing his jacket mid-match when he was during one of the weeks and walking around with it, to when Aleister Black is coming down to the ring and just the camera work is brilliant where he just comes up from behind his shoulder. Fantastic.
Angel Cruz him.
And then just obviously like mimicking him throughout the match by like sitting in front of him and stuff like that. And Aleister Black did really well.
Aleister Black even took a picture,
just looking to the side, not acknowledging, like refusing to acknowledge him.
And then during the match, it was like he was doing a few moves that caught him off guard. Like he was doing that sort of pose where his arse was sticking out and stuff like that. So
that DDT though.
Yeah.
Oh, that DDT was unbelievable.
Here's something I couldn't believe when I found out. It's only Velveteen Dream's 3rd year in wrestling.
Yeah.
He's only like 22 or something like that.
Yeah.
Can you imagine how good he's going to get in a few years? He's like Rick Rude. He's this generation's Rick Rude already.
Yeah.
He actually reminds when you look at there's so much about him that reminds me of him. His actions, the tights as well. That's very Rick Rude's. Having
That was
one,
class.
having both. Like.
Well, to be fair,
it
would have been perfect Rick Rude if he actually put Aleister Black on his crotch.
Do they have those tights on WWE shop yet?
No, I don't think they will.
I really want a pair.
That'd be an awesome pair. In the end, it was Black who beat Dream after his Black Mass kick after Dream was trapped on the ropes, and Black kicked him to reverse his top rope elbow. After many chants, then the crowd trying to encourage Black with Dream coming to his senses, said, "Enjoy infidelity, infamy,
Yeah.
Velveteen Dream."
Yeah.
And he smiled so much when he walked away.
There was a brilliant analogy of this match.
Okay,
It was by, do you remember the old WWE referee Jimmy Corderas?
you do.
Yes, he put it on Twitter and perfectly summed up the match. He says, Aleister Black went over, but the Velveteen Dream got over.
Yeah,
And that is exactly what happened.
because you could argue,
The crowd were just so into Velveteen Dream.
I
for
know. And like the thing is, like you could argue that Aleister Black got the biggest pop in all of NXT. Like,
Aleister Black is probably the most over guy in NXT right now.
he's my favorite wrestler in NXT anyway at the moment, so by far and away. Anyway,
And with a heel champion now, I think it could be. And if it is the case that Drew was actually injured, they could accelerate Aleister Black up to a title shot next.
what about Adam Cole though?
Adam Cole's a heel though.
I suppose.
Yeah.
We're meant to be seen, I suppose. And so the Nikki Cross versus Kairi Sane versus Peyton Royce versus Ember Moon for the NXT Women's title. Very good match. Everyone played their part. It was actually a proper fatal four-way because there was so much moves that were used that were like for example, like crossbodies on two people, or even at the end the clips on both Peyton and Peyton and Cross. I think it was.
Did you notice throughout the night what they were doing in terms of matches?
No. What do you mean?
Like, obviously there was the two rings, so they had the first match in the first ring,
Oh, no,
and then the next match was in the other ring, and then he went back to the other one, and they kept going from one ring to the other.
And so they could keep it. It was the same for NXT this week. Like they had they had Riots against DeVille in one ring, and they had Dunn against Gargano in the other ring.
Yeah.
It's so they can balance both rings out, so one isn't too fresh than the other one.
Yeah.
So it makes more sense.
Yeah, I am a little disappointed that at no time they changed over, like, if you know what I mean, like, you know, like if you watched any old War Games pay-per-views, what they used to do was the guys having the matches that weren't the War Games matches, like if you wanted to like throw them over the ropes into the other ring and then fight there for a while and then throw them back over to the
Oh,
other
I see
ring,
what you mean.
you know.
So there was none of that. So
No, there was none of that.
it would depend. It would have to be happening at least two matches then if Matt says anything.
Yeah, I'm not disappointed, but I'm not going to say it was a crap pay-per-view just because they didn't do that.
Do you wish that happens?
Yeah.
Do you wish that happens?
Yeah.
Anyway, it was again very good match. Some powerbomb Nikki took on the outside. Remember, that was nasty.
Yeah.
She can take a bump.
Yeah. The double eclipse though to end it, man.
Yeah, in the end it was Moon to hit the eclipse on both Nikki and Peyton and pin Nikki to win the title. It was a nice touch afterwards when Asuka presented Moon with the title, like sort of represents their rivalry as well.
Yeah.
So
I'll be honest. At first, I thought just an inkling in my head that she done that because she wanted it, and William Regal had no idea why she was in there.
I thought there was a little bit there, all right, with
I
that.
see what you mean. Yeah.
Yeah.
Works.
She just decided, I'm gonna hop the guardrail here, and I'm gonna be like, give me the title, you know.
Yeah.
You lost to me like 20 times. You're not getting the title.
Yeah. Yeah. You weren't ready for that, William.
Yeah.
No one's ready for Asuka. So the upset of probably the weekend: Drew McIntyre against Andrade Cien Almas NXT title.
Yeah.
Now, Almas with Vega played a stormer. Like, I love the combination of Vega and Almas so much right now. Vega is a fantastic manager.
Yeah.
She's
brilliant.
She is literally, how would I compare it to in terms of manager? She's like Stephanie back in the day.
Better.
No, way better because Stephanie couldn't do that Hurricanrana.
In terms of being a heel and like being that annoying one, I'd say she's probably like.
She's up there.
Remember when like Vicky Guerrero was at her worst?
I was thinking kind of with her ability, Edge and Lita.
You could say that.
Oh,
yeah.
That's a good call, actually. Really good call.
Edge Lita then. If we're going like for heel Lita then when Lita was with Edge.
Yeah, that's what Peter said.
Yeah. Oh, sorry, I thought you said sorry.
You just agreed to something and then you just gave the same opinion.
I misheard you. I thought you said Matt Hardy.
You just crossed my name off and
yeah, that's it. Peter's idea? No.
No.
Dave's.
I'm not claiming it whatsoever.
Guests don't get ideas.
Almas had a few near falls against McIntyre. That moonsault on the floor from Almas as well, where he like went straight to the floor. How he can do that like with such heights?
I thought it was brilliant where it was early in the match where McIntyre was on the outside. Vega tried to moonsault him. He's like, no, get away from me. And then he thought, then Almas thought he was distracted enough to try and go through the rope and get him. And then, no, just forearm. There you go.
Simple enough.
Yeah.
In the end, so like McIntyre missed the second Claymore kick. Almas hit his elevated hammerlock DDT to beat McIntyre in a massive upset. You could hear it by the crowds. You know a pop in the way when it's like a sort of thing.
It was interesting as well. Like me and you take part in the Low Blows Prediction League.
Oh, I knew you were going to mention this.
And what in the Low Blows Prediction League?
Just get over it. Come on.
No, I'm just gonna say in the Low Blows Prediction League.
Oh, Low Blows. I thought you meant it. Okay.
Yeah, I said that 3 times, and then you were already thinking, don't worry, I'll have my moment for that in a second.
Is
Don't
there
worry
something
about
in my coffee? Let me just check.
Rick tweeted out, Jordan, it's like, yeah, nobody guessed that Almas was going to win.
No one did.
No. And when we did our prediction for it, we were pretty confident. We were like laughing it off, saying, McIntyre's not losing his first title defense. What are you talking about?
No way. I know he's the second shortest reign as NXT champion, behind Smojo's second reign, I think it was.
Really?
Yeah.
Becoming the Sasha Banks of NXT champions.
I know, can't defend it, yeah. But yeah, then I think we move on to the final match.
Indeed. Sanity versus the Undisputed Era versus AOP and Roderick Strong in the first ever War Games match in WWE.
Yeah.
So,
what did you think of the open cage?
I liked it in the sense where it was able to create a lot more spots, like especially top rope spots.
It created one more spot. That was it, and that was the top of the cage one.
There's that. There was Killian Dean couldn't have done that crossbody as well as he did if it wasn't for the open cage.
What crossbody?
The crossbody where he landed on everybody after he brought all those weapons in. When Sanity came in, he brought all those weapons in, and then he took his jacket off, crossbody everyone from the top rope.
You could still do that with a roof on it.
There's a superplex through the table. No, I don't know.
You could still do, because the way the roof was, it was kind of...
Obviously that was the big spots.
It was kind of like a pyramid shape.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was still tall enough to do it.
I'm not
you
sure.
Could have made the cage, like if you needed to, you could have made the cage a little bigger then.
Well,
I think it was for just that spot, the suplex off the top.
I like it more anyway because I think it's better for high flying spots, which I'm more for. Like I was kind of thinking, well, you know, it's not so much a War Games if it's no roof, but it actually makes more sense now.
Yeah, but it was like,
and they added the rule where if you escape, then you forfeit, which I like.
I like that.
Yeah, they had to really, because if it was open, then people would be questioning why isn't people trying to escape.
Yeah.
But it wasn't. It was interesting though, because Triple H actually didn't want to have it open. He wanted to put the roof on it, but it was Vince that got the final say, and Vince said, "No, I don't want the roof on it."
I'm gonna, for change, agree with Vince on this one and say yes, it actually made more sense.
Yeah, we're gonna have a weird show because we're both gonna agree with a Vince thing on this, which is kind of weird.
What do you mean?
Because I have a thing on Raw later on that you think.
Well, we'll get to that. When we talk about it, was Adam Cole, Eric Young, and Roderick Strong who started the match. Undisputed Era, then Fish and O'Reilly joined the match first after the first 5 minutes. AOP second and Sanity third. So many spots in this match, though. Killian Dean's coast to coast. How he can do that for a man of his size?
I don't know.
There's Cole. There's strong superplex off the cage as well. There was the one who superplexed Alexander Wolf to the tables.
That was either Akam or Rizar.
Yeah,
I can't remember. I think it's Akam.
Yeah, it caused a nasty cut in the back of his head as well. So.
He died. He just the pool of blood that was left on that table.
When you saw the end of the match and you saw Alexander Wolf on the side of the ring, you thought, oh my god, this actually was War Games.
All members of Sanity were actually bleeding at one point.
Really?
Yeah. Well, Killian Dean got a cut on his forehead. I think
didn't see that one.
Eric Young got his nose busted.
Oh, okay. Well, after that knee, I suppose, at the end. So in the match, in the end, it was Cole who gave a chair-aided running knee.
Can we talk about the spot of the match?
The superplex?
No, not the superplex.
Oh, what was
that? Was a good spot. Great spot. The spot of the match where both Akam and Rizar triple powerbomb all the members off the top rope, and then Adam Cole is just left sitting there thinking,
oh yeah,
I just won this, I didn't get powerbombed, and then he realizes that both Akam and Rizar are standing up. But did you see that they kind of stalled that for a while? Because what happened was the TV guys went to a replay, and they were showing replays of just the two powerbombs that just happened. So then Akam and Rizar had to fall down again and then gradually wait until the replay is finished before they could stand up and then do the spot with Adam Cole.
They timed it very well to their credit. So yeah, no, it was a class match. So again, Survivor Series had a lot to live up to, like for the next show. So, but
yep,
we'll get.
It tried its best. It did. It made a great effort, much better effort than previous ones.
Yeah, it did.
But
it definitely tried.
I don't think it did. I don't think it outdid. I don't think it outdid War Games.
Yeah, let's get to Survivor Series now then. So. It's spookier, this theme.
It's rockier.
Rockier.
It's kid rockier.
Yeah. Oh, I like that term actually. We'll just go very quickly through the pre-show because you haven't seen this. I'll just get through it very quickly.
I got the results. I don't think I even need to know how it went.
Matt Hardy and Elias Sampson. Good win for Elias. I think he hurt his arm actually. Matt Hardy during this actually, or he had a bad arm or something like that.
Sold an arm.
Enzo Amore and Kalisto for the cruiserweight title. Enzo counters Lee Del Sol, brawled into the apron, big rights from Enzo, but Kalisto countered Soul Foods by Enzo, slammed Kalisto into the metal power of the buckles, Soul Food connects, Enzo retains. Actually wasn't a bad match. I thought it was a good match actually. One of Enzo's better matches, I thought.
I didn't see it. The only part of the pre-show that I saw was Kalisto struggling to get into the ring.
I love that.
I missed that part, I think.
Yeah.
Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn against Breezango. Now, Sami and Kevin Owens cut a promo saying they didn't come to WWE to compete against clowns like Breezango. They were insulted because they weren't the best on Smackdown. Owens said this is the building that he won both his first Intercontinental and Universal titles, actually, which is didn't know that actually. He should be making history leading Team Smackdown, but they ain't because of Shane McMahon. They claim that Shane is running an unsafe work environment, which is why they escaped on Smackdown. They are not. It was not their fight, so it wasn't their problem. And then Breezango arrived saying that Sami and Kevin are harassing the universe. They run down. They run them down with unmanicured facial hair. And Fandango called Sami a paper boy and said that he will save Survivor Series from fashion offences. No more you can say to that?
Nope, nothing. Sorry.
Pretty good match. Owens beat, I think it was, I don't know who he beat for the powerbomb actually. He won the powerbomb. I think it was Fandango beat for that actually. There you go. Let's get to probably the match tonight actually. New Day against Shields.
Yeah.
That was probably the best match.
That or the other tag match.
I think.
I know what you're. We'll get on to your match.
New Day cut a promo saying that they will prove that they're the most dominant three-man faction in WWE history. They mocked the Raw invasion of SmackDown, saying they will go Bob Barker on their wrestling up. The She will turn on each other on the road to WrestleMania, which they said I think on the week before that. I think.
Yeah, we had a discussion during the week about this, didn't we?
Yeah.
When New Day were talking about their New Day doing their promo beforehand, they were like, "Oh, we'll never break up" and stuff like that. I thought in the back of my head for a second, like, is someone gonna break up the New Day? I just thought like that was perfect setup to do that because they were saying, "Oh, we'll never break up. We're the closest brothers." Blah 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 blah.
Kind of similar to the Shield breakup.
Exactly, yeah. And then maybe like I don't know, like I'd say out of all of them, I'd say Big E probably be the one to do it.
Because he's the one who has like he
has the best potential to go
best
forward.
credentials to be a singles partner. Like all of them do, I think.
All of them do, but like Kofi hasn't got age on his side. That's the problem.
Kofi's United States at best at this stage in his career.
No, I'd say he'd have a world title run.
Think so?
I think he would, but he can't have continuous world title runs the way I think Big E could. Xavier Woods, I think, would be a better valet than he would be a wrestler.
He's a very good wrestler, though. He's very underrated, I think.
Yeah.
So.
Oh no, he is a great wrestler, no doubt. But he can talk.
Yeah, he can talk.
He can talk. That's why I think he'd be a better valet than he would be a wrestler.
Yeah.
I think as part of a tag team would suit him very well. You know?
Yeah. In the match itself, though, it was New Day looked for the Midnight Hour. Big E grabbed Rollins and Ambrose, and New Day hit the double Midnight Hour, but Reigns speared Big E, made the save. Everyone was down. Reigns tagged in. All 6 of them got into their feet, and they broke down to a big brawl. Woods got taken out, then as does Big E. Reigns and Kofi worked back and forth until Reigns speared Kofi, and then Super Shield Bomb. Kofi dies.
Yeah.
I
also thought that might be aware that there's talk about Ambrose versus Rollins at WrestleMania.
Interesting.
So that would lead to a Shield breakup. I'm thinking that I'm guessing Ambrose is the one that's going to turn heel because Seth already did it once.
Yeah. I like it more anyway.
Yeah.
I don't think he's ever been a heel until
I thought that
Bar Shields, yeah.
The best time to do it is like really soon.
Yeah. Because
the Shield are at the height of just coming back. Everyone loves the fact that they're back. To get the most heat on Ambrose as a heel would be to do it now.
Yeah. I'm with you on that. Like, yeah. I want to ask you guys a question actually. You talked about the New Day possibly breaking up, but as a tag team, do you think because they have they're such great promo guys, do you think they not get enough credit for their performances as a tag team?
I think people were going a little sour on them, maybe I'm going to say, before they had the feud with the Usos.
Yeah.
I think the Usos brought it back into people's minds of how good the New Day
They're
are.
fantastic.
Yeah, I think their in-ring skills are overlooked by their quality on the mic.
And the fact that they're always pushing new merch. I think people get pissed off with that too. I know I did for a while.
Yeah.
That they were just pushing merch.
You didn't eat your bootios today.
That's probably why. That's why I was being sour. You know? Because I didn't have any bootios.
Exactly.
But
look, you ain't booty, man. You ain't
booty. God.
Move on. The first elimination match between Team Raw and Team SmackDown. From Raw, Alicia Fox, Nia Jax, Sasha Banks, Asuka, and Bayley. From Team SmackDown, Becky Lynch, Carmella, Tamina, Naomi, and Natalya. It was Fox and Becky started off first. Fox taking control. Did you expect Becky to be in him? No one expected Becky. Like, you talk about people.
Nobody. You know,
we
gave our prediction and we said
we both said Alicia Fox.
Yeah, like we got a captain right. We just got the wrong one.
And badly wrong.
Yeah, like
that me so
you
much.
Were really upset with that, weren't you?
I've been upset about Becky Lynch's booking for a while now.
Yeah,
I'm such a huge fan of her. I just think she's being underused.
Yeah. Or certainly made look too weak. Certainly, like so. Yeah, so it was Bayley who tagged in, got a sneaky roll up on her. Like, they were shocked when I was watching it in Buskers. Lots of booze afterwards. So.
I'd say so. But look, it's what happened.
Yeah,
you know?
To me, in the eliminated, it's Bayley from a top rope splash. I'll just get to these eliminations very quickly. I actually liked the Tamina and Jax thing, actually, by the way.
It was. Like, I think it was perfectly. It's somebody, I can't remember who it was, but someone said that Tamina versus Nia Jax was not something I thought I ever wanted till I saw it.
Yeah.
And then I say it and it's like, yes.
Is Tamina about to get a push? Because they seem to make her look really strong in that match.
It's because she is strong.
Yeah, I know she is. I know she is, yeah.
Have you seen her?
Yeah, so it was Jax who got counted out. I think it was Tamina hit a high cross off the steps. Jax got counted out. It was a clever booking, like, for Jax, because like she's probably the strongest person there. It makes a lot of sense. Mm-hmm. Fox was gone by a roll up from Naomi. Banks submitted Naomi almost straight afterwards. Carmella got her head kicked off by Carmella got her head kicked off by Asuka. Tamina took Bayley tapped out to I think the sharpshooter from Natalya. It was just Asuka, and then it was Asuka left against Tamina and Natalya. Asuka made Tamina tap out with an armbar, and then she just submitted Natalya with her Asuka lock.
Should have known that they were never going to actually let Asuka lose.
No. Yeah, it made more sense. No, we both picked her as last one, didn't we? I had with Bayley, so but I
didn't. I had someone else left. I had Sasha Banks left.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So it was a right call then for sure. Like so. Mm-hmm. No, Baron Corbin versus Miz. They brawl at the start. Corbin takes control, beats the hell out of Miz after. Like I love the confrontation that Corbin had with Maurice, who was at ringside, like blowing kisses. Like Miz went ballistic after that. So
I know. I saw it once. I think I texted you. I said once I saw Maurice in the crowd, I was like, "There's no way Miz is losing this. Can't be." But then I saw that it was the third match and Raw were already 2 up, and I was like, "Yeah, no, he is actually losing this match."
Miz escaped the end of days, took out the knee and hit a DDT for 2. Miz laid in some kicks on Corbin. Corbin avoided the big kick. Miz hit the clothesline corner, but then ran into the end of days. Corbin wins. Good match overall, I thought.
It was okay. It was my bathroom break match.
It was a clean.
It was.
It was a clean finish though. Curtis Axel and Bud Ass were hardly involved.
They were, and they got destroyed. It was just to put him over as much as possible.
Okay. So Peter's gone for a bathroom break.
Yeah. Peter's running away. He's
Yeah.
had enough. He hates Baron Corbin so much. He's leaving.
I like Baron Corbin. That's the thing. Sheamus versus Cesaro against the Usos. That was actually a fantastic match.
This was my match of the night.
This was your match.
This was
night.
my match of the night. I love this match.
Now, what made this stand out as opposed to New Day and Shields?
I think the club didn't. I don't know why. I just enjoyed it more. I think it was the close finishes. There was so much more.
So many, yeah.
You know, and there was so many times where, like, say for example, the New Day were out of the ring, and then it was just the two, like Sheamus and Cesaro against one Uso, and then they were doing their finish. I was like, oh, this is the end. This is the end. And then that finish just to see the first of all, they said super kick party. So I don't know if
Young Bucks are watching.
Yeah, if the Young Bucks are watching, send that cease and desist.
Yeah.
Do it now.
Oh, I'll get you back. I'll get you back. Oh, was that encouraged by the crowd? So,
what, super kick party?
yeah.
No, because it was done by the commentary team.
Then.
This is the commentary team that said it.
In the end, it was Sheamus who stopped Jay from tagging Jimmy in, but Jimmy hit Nzaguri and double super kicks, connect on Cesaro, super kicks to Sheamus, the suicide dive and top rope splash secure to win for the Usos. It was actually an awesome match, and actually, you know what? I'd love to see them wrestle again.
Yeah.
It's an awesome match. They're two fantastic.
Usos at the moment are just fantastic.
They're by far and away the best tag team in WWE, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think Cesaro and in my opinion, Sheamus and Cesaro are close seconds.
Yeah, Cesaro and Sheamus is the best tag team on Raw.
Yeah.
Usos best team on SmackDown.
There you go.
Yeah.
Now, Alexa Bliss versus Charlotte. Women's champion versus women's champion.
Yeah. I thought it was okay.
Yeah, it wasn't a bad match.
It was... I thought it went on a little longer than it needed to be.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. But other than that, I thought it was a fine, solid match.
Bliss threw a tantrum after Charlotte kicked out the DDT. Or no, she had her leg in the ropes for Charlotte hit a spear, only got 2. Bliss talked a lot of crap and attacked from the back. Bliss headed on top and Twisted Bliss eats the knees. Then Charlotte hit the big boots, locked in finger eights, tapped out. Good overall match.
Yep.
Now, Brock Lesnar versus AJ Styles.
Yeah.
This
if only Peter was here, he could say that this was his match of the weekend.
We'll
chat about it.
We'll bring it up to him when he gets back. The SI this is actually my match tonight. I think, like, overall, because AJ Styles, like, it proves how good he really is.
Mm-hmm.
Anyone can have. Like, he's one of these guys who can have a great match with everybody.
Yeah.
And everyone who works for them has much better matches. Roman Reigns, who we when he was first champion, we weren't so sure. Then we seen how better he's gotten ever since.
Yeah.
Jinder Mahal, and now Brock Lesnar. Like,
Jinder Mahal had his best match as champion without
question.
Yeah.
So this was a class match. So the SA moonsault connected, and then Styles hit the 450. I love how he does his springboard 450. It's so amazing.
Yeah.
Lesnar kicked out at 2. Styles looked for the clash. Lesnar countered, but Styles rolled into the calf crusher. Lesnar fights and starts slamming. Oh, I love that when he slammed Styles' head against the mat.
Yeah. God, he sold it so well afterwards.
It was almost like a murder scene.
Yeah.
Like, Lesnar looked for the M5. Styles escaped, hit the springboard forearm for a great near fall. Styles in apron again, springboard, but Lesnar catched him, hit the F5 for the win.
Yeah.
Fantastic match. It was a really class match. So layout was fantastically done, and the crowd responded to the way it is. Then what more can you say?
I think like a few people were mentioning it. A few friends were saying to me as well that they were a little worried when the match started because Brock was all over AJ, and I said there was no need to, because AJ was always going to get offense in.
Yeah,
always. The way even the way Paul Heyman was building him up throughout the whole thing.
Exactly, it makes more sense that, like, it builds up and builds up. Now, from probably the match of nights to the most disappointing match of nights.
Yeah, I know I didn't say it when we mentioned it earlier on actually, but this match coming up, and I think the Women's Survivor Series match as well, were the two matches I was disappointed most in.
Okay.
They're the two important matches as well. That's why I don't feel that Survivor Series was better than TakeOver.
overall? Because, well, do you think because it's both the Survivor Series style matches, do you think that it's just the idea then that the style of matches getting, I hate to say this, out of touch?
No, I don't think so. I think it was just because for the women's match, it was just too messy, I thought. Especially for the Naomi and Alicia Fox exchange for a while. That was extremely messy.
Yeah.
Even the finish, like when the pinfall and then trying to go into the submission, but then it was actually a 3 count and they didn't have any idea what was going on and stuff. So I just thought that let that match down.
Yeah.
And then obviously the finish to this match.
Yeah, so it was Kurt Angle, Braun Strowman, Finn Balor, Samoa Joe, and Triple H representing Team Raw. Shane McMahon, Randy Orton, Shinsuke Nakamura, Bobby Roode, and John Cena representing SmackDown. What was your opinion on Triple H and John Cena being not wearing the shirts, like or the representative shirts? Like
Cena, I can understand because technically he's a free agent. So he can go to any show.
Well, he's not really if he's representing SmackDown, though, is he?
But he's not tied to SmackDown.
I suppose.
And also merch. Triple H was wearing red, though.
Yeah.
Same thing as well. He's not actually tied to a certain show. He's technically a free agent as well.
If anything, he should be wearing yellow.
He should have been. He should actually been wearing green as well.
Maybe.
That could be like the free agent exclusive colour was green. To be fair, if you want to go that way, like Dean and Seth were wearing their stupid half and half t-shirt and Roman wasn't wearing one.
He wasn't wearing a shirt at all, actually.
No, he wasn't. So if you want to go like that, you can do that.
Maybe.
But we've already talked about that match.
Again,
so, yeah.
merch.
Again, merch.
That's probably the title of the show. Again, merch in title letters.
It's like again, comma, merch.
Again, that makes sense, yeah. Anyway, yeah.
But, yeah. There was one issue that I had, and it's not been picked up on.
Okay.
Braun knocked out Nakamura first.
He did.
Then knocked out Bobby Roode quickly.
Yeah.
Then, obviously he's continued to be the legal man, and then he gets suplexed through the table. Why didn't the referee count him out?
It's a good point. I never thought about that.
Yeah.
Maybe I don't know. Maybe miscalculation of the ref or something like that. I don't know. I see what you mean.
Yeah. He should have been counted out.
Yeah. Anyway, then.
And he never tagged anybody, so no one else should have been in that match.
Made sense. Made sense. Maybe it was just a small little thing, I suppose. We're just missed out there.
Again, booking.
Cena then eliminated Joe. Cena was eliminated by Kurt Angle then after that.
That Kurt Angle Cena exchange was just weird. The crowd weren't into it at all. And I wasn't into either. It was as if that wasn't planned and they were trying to just do it on the fly, because it seems as though between moves they were taking a break, and I think they were talking to each other during it, saying, okay, we need to do this next, we need to do that next.
Yeah.
So I don't know, it's a bit and it's kind of weird. Why would you bring Cena back for that, just to be knocked out so early?
Yeah. It's kind of strange, alright.
Yeah.
But going back to it, like it was let's see, where were we? Balor then went from the RKO. It was just Shane. It was this.
I was right though about that, wasn't I?
What?
I knew Randy would RKO someone out of nowhere to knock them out, and it was Balor. It just wasn't first.
It was then left between Kurt Angle and Triple H against Orton and Shane.
Kurt Angle, Triple H, and Strowman.
Excuse me, yeah.
Who should have been counted out.
You're right.
Do you agree with that, by the way?
Yeah, we're just talking about should Braun Strowman been counted out in that Survivor Series match?
I think so.
When he got suplexed, he was still the legal man, and the referee never even tried to count him out.
Yeah,
that's just raw privilege in WWE, you know.
Yeah, that's probably it. That's probably it right there. Anyway, Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens then came out of nowhere to attack Shane, beat the crap out of him. Shane got a chair, fought them off. RKO on Kevin and Shane, beat up Sami in the ramp, but Braun was back and tagged in.
Again, no count out.
Yeah. The power slam then finished off Orton. It was just Shane against Kurt Angle, Strowman, and Triple H. Then what happened then? Like after repeated covers on Shane, Kurt Angle kept kicking out. Angle hit the Angle Slam and applied the ankle lock. Shane fights. Angle pulled it back. And Triple H entered and pedigreed Angle. Put Shane and Angle, and Shane pinned him. It looked like it was going to be 2-on-2 until Triple H then pedigreed Shane for the win, just to get over. And I hated that finish. I really did not like that finish.
Very messy.
Confusing, messy.
I don't like it because it puts Triple H over. Simple as that.
But
Makes no sense. They could.
It's obvious why they're doing it. They're setting up for Angle and Triple H at Mania.
Yeah,
but there's better ways to do that.
Yeah, there's way better ways of doing it.
You know, I don't know. I just didn't get it. It's probably one of the stupidest finishes to a Survivor Series match ever.
Yeah, naturally, well, like all of us, like Braun was also puzzled.
Yeah.
Triple H celebrated, but then Braun attacked him. By God, the Triple H looked terrified.
That when he was choking him in the corner. By the way, it was pretty stupid of Triple H too. He said something like, "You ever cross me again, I'm going to kill you." Straight away, Triple H tries to give him a pedigree, and then he's like, "Come on!"
Doesn't learn his lesson.
He gets a double power slam.
He takes his chance. He'll get over no matter what.
Do we all watch Game of Thrones?
Yeah.
When Triple H was terrified in the corner, was just me, or did he look like Joffrey when he was just about to die?
A little bit.
No, I know.
Bit,
no,
yeah.
I know that. I don't watch. Amongst me sins, I don't watch much of it, but I know exactly what you mean. So.
Did you watch the videos after Survivor Series went off the air?
The one, was
Triple H selling what the power slam is really like.
I was thinking it's the one that I was telling you about that you hadn't seen, and you had to go look it up.
Oh, did you see any of them, Dave?
Well, see any of what?
Any of the videos after Survivor Series went off the air?
I don't think so. No.
Let's explain these two.
Please.
So the first one was actually a WWE exclusive one, that they put on their YouTube afterwards. Stephanie McMahon comes out to Triple H to see if he's all right after the power slam, and he's a bit dazed. He doesn't know where he is, and then he's starting to get up to his feet, and Stephanie McMahon is like applauding him. Yes, the game.
Oh,
won.
I know. I see that.
And then he
one.
just puts his hands up and just falls back.
I did see that, and he goes. I did see that, and he ran into the LED board. Yeah, that was.
And
funny.
the LED board as well. And then I think when Stephanie McMahon got out of the ring, she was waiting for Triple H to get out of the ring as well, and he stood up again, and he tried to put his arms up again and fell again.
Oh dear God. That's so funny. Now, while you were gone, Daragh told me your favourite match of the Survivor Series was AJ and Brock.
It was. I apologise for that bit
of
unprofessionalism.
No, you're fine. You're fine.
Burton then. Yeah, the AJ Brock match, just for me, as I mentioned, Jeff Hardy was always my favourite. I always loved Rey Mysterio. I was always an underdog kind of guy. And just the match started, and straight away my heart sank. It was like, oh, AJ's getting squashed.
Yeah.
And then it was just a pure surprise of the bulldog fight that he put up, and he looked strong even though he lost the match.
You actually thought for a second, could he win this?
I did, exactly. The thought crossed my mind, could AJ actually beat Brock?
One really positive thing about that match as well, Jinder didn't get involved.
Yes, which is even better. Yeah. They actually let him wrestle. It would be kind of silly if he did.
Yeah.
Because he actually said, I want to see you be ripped apart by Brock Lesnar.
Yeah, I'm supporting AJ because he's Team Smackdown. Yeah.
It makes more sense that he actually lays back and just lets Brock beat him up rather than be involved himself.
Although I would love to see the Singh brothers come out, because if Randy controlled one of them like he did back then, can you imagine what Brock could do?
Yeah. Brock would be. Remember when Brock was having a feud with Seth Rollins when he was part of the Authority?
Yeah.
And they bought Seth Rollins a car, and Brock tore the door off and threw it and nearly hit someone in the crown. Substitute the door for one of the Singhs, and that's probably quite accurate on what would have happened.
I'd say the door might be a little bit heavier though.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah,
maybe
you put two Singhs together. That would be the weight of the door.
That's it. Yeah. Anyway, that was Survivor Series. When we return, we'll continue our results of the week with WWE Raw after this short break.
You're listening to the Electronic Media Collective Podcast Network. Yeah, it's a mouthful. For more great shows, visit electronicmediacollective.com. In the future, roving bands of comic book podcasts will savage the wasteland, once known as the Internet. One podcast, the Grawlix Podcast, may not be the biggest, may not be the funniest, may not be the most well-spoken. Wait, what was my point again? Oh yes, the Grawlix Podcast. Listen to it at grawlixpodcast.com. That's GRAWLIX podcast.com.
We're back here on 90.3 Near FM with the Kick Out, your weekly pro wrestling guides. Now let's continue on our results of the week with WWE Raw.
Welcome to Monday Night Raw!
Stephanie comes out and gloats about Raw winning straight away. says Kurt Angle's job is safe, but then the status of the mummified leg is undetermined. He brings out Triple H. Kurt Angle arrives straight away. Angle tells Triple H that if you ever attack me again, I'll shove a job up your arse, and he will come after him. Jason Jordan came out, faced Triple H. Stephanie said Angle can't make the match. Jordan asked if Triple H is a coward. Stephanie tells Jordan that Triple H would kill him and isn't afraid of anybody. Do your mini Braun there, sorry.
No. Okay.
Arrived, went beard to nose with Triple H, and Triple H backed out. He's a bit scared, alright. So, good start. Here's the thing, do you think the Authority are back with this? Triple H and Steph?
Are they? They need a guy though. They need a guy, a wrestler there.
A guy there.
Yeah, they need a guy.
Who is their guy?
I don't know. Could be
They
Dean.
Ooh.
Could be Dean. But it's not going to be Dean.
They need.
He's the only one left out of the Shield who actually hasn't. Well, actually he has, but not as much. He isn't. He's had his feuds with the Authority back in the day, but it's not as much compared to.
Yeah, but the Authority.
Roman or Seth.
Well, if you wanted to, and you wanted to get some heat on this person and actually make him a decent heel, you make Jason Jordan their guy.
Yes.
That's good.
You know,
Good shout.
Go work.
it's pretty obvious that he is going to go turn heel at some point, and he's going to go against Kurt Angle. Best ways to do it. He can be the Authority's guy.
Makes sense.
Uh-huh.
Be interesting. It depends if he turns into a heel, but there is seed to that with his match with Braun Strowman. I thought
Yeah, there's mannerisms.
Yeah.
But he's getting booed by a crowd every week. You might as well turn him heel.
I'm just surprised there hasn't been a paternity test on a pole match yet.
Oh, what? It's just like a swab dangling down.
Yeah,
Are you really the father, or like a Mari in a post match or something?
So what?
Like that?
So if it was Dave's booking, it would be Kurt Angle against Booker T. Then, wouldn't it?
Kurt and Booker.
There you go. Samoa Joe versus Finn Balor. I love. This is actually a class match. I love I hope this feud continues actually between Joe and Balor. Because
people were upset because this was a bit of a squash.
Yeah, I was a little upset at how easily Balor seemed to be dispatched.
Yeah, and everyone obviously got upset with the reports that supposedly
Vince isn't happy with him.
Vince doesn't think he's over enough, and
which I think is mad.
And they're taking him off the Royal Rumble show. I have a different thought on this.
Okay.
Now,
go for it.
I think that this is all a work.
Okay.
I think Vince has purposely gotten that leaked out to the press to say that he's not happy with Finn and that he's not over and stuff like that.
Right.
So crowds can, like we all are, outraged at it, which will then build him up more, which will get him over more. He's doing a Daniel Bryan on him. I think that's what he's doing. I think this. There's no way Vince is that silly where he doesn't think Finn Balor's over. Finn Balor is over, and I think.
But you do realise.
See, I had my suspicions about this, but then all those tweets from Balor,
they were hilarious.
About just putting up the picture of him when he's on the top rope and the lights go up and everyone's mimicking him. Also the one with
the turkey
Roman Reigns, where he puts in capital
forever
letters over in the word forever, yeah. And then
exactly.
obviously I'm not over cooking this turkey, which is brilliant. There's no way if
golden Irish humour.
If this stuff was true, that he would put this stuff on his social media.
But Finn Balor is known for being an infamous teaser on his social media.
Yeah, teaser, not like going against his boss though. I think it's all a work. I think they're just. Bear in mind, this is how they're building Finn up. Yeah. That he can actually take on the beast.
Bear in mind though, Vince McMahon never actually planned Daniel Bryan to be in that match at WrestleMania. It was eventually something that came up like a few months before.
Yeah, but now he knows how to work it.
Maybe. I'd love to see. I'd love to agree with you, but it's very optimistic.
It's all being built up for Finn versus Vince at WrestleMania.
Why not?
Finn versus Shane.
Miz TV with Roman Reigns. The Shield. Miz said that he invited Reigns, not the Shield. Ambrose said they felt good. Said they haven't missed a step. Rollins said they proved themselves the night before, feeling unstoppable. Miz sarcastically put them over. Said they wanted to tank. They wanted to tank him because he's the one that got them back together. The crowd thanked Miz, and he wanted tanks and some residues from the new Shield merch. They got some jokes back and forth. Miz got annoyed, and the lights went out apparently at one stage in this. Actually, I didn't spot this actually. Like I didn't watch the whole part obviously, but I think the lights went out at one stage during the promo.
I think I remember spotting that.
Yeah.
Everyone probably just thought, Taker's back! Ah!
Yeah, without the gong.
Yeah.
Reigns said that he ain't ungrateful because they win, unlike the Miz. Miz countered that they're saying he's a champion unlike them. Rollins said that he and Ambrose are going to get the tag titles back, and Reigns said that if they're going to have to go after the tag titles, he didn't want to feel left out. And then Rollins said Miz has a nice shiny belt. Reigns said he liked the belts. Reigns challenged Miz. Dallas cut him off. Match was made later on when Dallas got the Shield bomb in front of Miz. So match set later on the night. Dean Ambrose took on Sheamus. What was one? How was that match won? Dirty Deeds from Ambrose.
Yeah,
done.
Of course.
Simple as that. Get to that. Now Bailey versus Mickie James versus Alicia Fox versus Sasha Banks. It's our Alexa Bliss saying that she's not pleased by her loss the night before. She's so sick of hearing how she came up short because she is short, and how Charlotte just got lucky and how she only had 5 days to prepare. Mickie James came out that she's sick and tired of hearing the same things from Biscuit Butts. Alexa Bliss said that she may have been the best wrestler of 2017, but it's not the end of the year yet. Alicia Fox saying that because she's the captain, she should get an opportunity. Sasha Banks said the boss should represent the brand. Kurt Angle made a match, the four of them. Whoever wins becomes number one contender. James backs in. Banks gets cut off by James and then being doubled down. Bailey and Fox are down on the floor, and a big.
It wasn't a baby.
It sounded
like a pterodactyl or something.
That was a baby. That was the sound.
Well, maybe my baby pterodactyl.
Fine, gang up on me.
No, I'm just.
Jeez, it's the last time I have you on the show.
Paige made a return. No one expected that was a shock.
Yeah, well, we were saying that. In hindsight, it was actually pretty good booking because the Big Four, the Raw after Big Four shows now are big shows. It's not just WrestleMania anymore.
Yeah. So
because they're co-shows, so you have something big to do it on, and bringing Paige back, works.
She said that they miss her. That she said that if they missed her, she's sorry to interrupt, but she just wants to say she's back, and she didn't come alone, and she had to ring. But Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville came out and attacked James, beat down Banks. Paige joined in, took out Bailey. Fox ran away. Clean house.
She's smart like a fox.
Then backstage, Alexa Bliss tried to make friends with them, but they kicked the crap out of her as well.
Yeah.
Now, how do you think this will impact the Raw's division in particular?
I think everybody's saying the same thing, that now, not just these three, obviously the 6 people have gone up.
Yeah.
That everyone's thinking, Royal Rumble.
Makes sense.
You know.
A fun note, actually, Paige was a judge in the Tough Enough season that both Mandy and Sonya were on. Do you know that?
Really?
Yeah.
Know that.
There you go. So it's very ironic that man.
One thing also I didn't know about, I don't know if you knew about this, but Sonya Deville is the only openly lesbian wrestler in WWE.
Did not know that.
Yeah.
I just have a question about these being called up, right? They're all great athletes in their own right.
Right.
But Raw now has Alexa Bliss, Nia Jax, Banks, Bailey, and then you have Paige and these two coming up.
Yeah.
And then also you have Asuka. So, there's such a heavy lineup of women. What's that mean for the title?
Well, I think the idea is that
Make some decent titles.
I heard Vince's theory on it is just to freshen up the division, because maybe it's getting stale with the pack with both rosters now at this stage, because we're so used to maybe seeing the same matches, or there's not enough new matches out there, so maybe adding this just makes more sense. So works for me. Plus, again, the initiative of the Rumble as well, or the possibility of it makes more sense as well.
Women's tag titles.
That's it.
Women's tag titles, women's Royal Rumble. You know, no, it's too early. I was going to say a women's mid-card title.
You
got to build slowly.
Yeah. I still want NXT to have a mid-card title.
Yeah.
There was talk about it, but
They should do it.
Nothing's been done since like the end of the or the end of summer. I think that's when it was the biggest talk. So I don't know.
Yeah. Jason Jordan against Braun Strowman. Jordan slapped Strowman and he basically ran away. Back in, Strowman catched Jordan. Jordan tried to fight back, and with Strowman started tossing him around. Jordan avoided the power slam, rolls to the floor, favouring his knee. Kane arrived, attacked Strowman with chairs, with his chair shots, and drove the chair into Strowman's throat, and the monster couldn't breathe but refused medical attention. So the rivalry continues between Strowman and Kane.
You can't breathe, so you refuse medical attention. Of course you do. Yeah. Is that how it works? I'll
just talk about the cruiserweight. What was it? It was like how many people were in this match actually? It was like an 8-man tag or something like that, wasn't it?
The whole division.
It was basically the whole division.
Yeah. Ali beat Daragh with the 054 he calls it for the win. Here's something I'm curious about. Do you think the cruiserweights are given too little time?
Cruiserweights are just forgotten about.
Yeah, I think it's not even their fault. They're all incredible workers. It's just the crowd just don't seem to care.
Yeah, but I think they're not given enough time to anyway. That's the format they're given doesn't help.
I think they're getting held back. I think they're like just an example is the Tornado tag match that Kendrick, Gallagher, who was it, Alexander and Rich Swann had like 2 weeks ago. It was fantastic because they were allowed to do what they want to do, and it was on their show. I think they're held back on Raw because they don't want them taking attention off the Raw superstars.
Makes sense. Yeah,
doesn't make sense, but I know what you mean.
No, but I know what you mean.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then the main events then between The Miz and Roman Reigns for the IC title. Reigns laid in rights. Miz hit a knee to lay kicks. Reigns avoided the head kick, hit a Samoan drop, cover for 2. Reigns called for the Superman punch. Miz countered. Reigns escaped. Miz trapped him up again to cover for 2. Miz hit the boots and Reigns, hit a corner clothesline, heads up top, but hits a Superman punch, kicks out at 2. Reigns then looks for the spear. Sheamus and Cesaro distract. Miz hit the skull cushion finale. Ambrose and Rollins arrived, attacked the tag champs and took him out. Reigns hit the spear, wins. New IC champion.
Yep.
He's Grand Slam now, isn't he?
He is, yeah. That's all.
Grand Slam. They're all Grand Slam champs now.
All Grand Slam champs.
Grand Slam champs.
They're all Grand Slam champs?
Yeah.
No, I think Seth isn't.
He is. He was a tag team champion.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess he is.
All of them are all of them are US champions, IC champions, and actually no, it was Seth wasn't an
Seth was not an Intercontinental champion.
No, he wasn't. You're right.
So Seth's the only one who's not.
Yeah, he could be considered a sort of like show grand champion because he was a US champion for a while. So if you want to just count like a mid-card title, then yes, he is a Grand Slam champion.
Yeah.
But
he's the only one who's he's the only one who's NXT champion as well. So out of them as well. So
the first NXT champion.
Indeed.
Yep.
Indeed. Anyway,
beating Jinder Mahal of all people.
So there was potential even back then. Or like to think that anyway. Anyway, moving on to SmackDown.
Come on to the Rock Show, to the premier show, SmackDown.
Well, I'm afraid the premiere show still came up short. Shane McMahon came out as a man who's probably too happy at the start, in my opinion.
Okay.
He seemed like happy he lost for some reason. He was dancing around.
Yeah.
Like, and this is the guy who lost like the only night when the brands go head to head. I thought that was weird, personally. What do you guys think?
He wasn't really dancing around, really, was he?
A
little bit. When he got into the ring, he was.
He was still too happy.
But he didn't do the thing like. Of course, he wasn't happy. Well, I think he wasn't happy, but he was also happy because he was about to fire the guys.
Yeah.
Well, at least he thought he was anyway.
Yeah.
He's the leader, you know what I mean? He has to put on the brave face for the soldiers. Stay positive.
That's true. Yeah, anyway, he said they were very close to Survivor Series. Stephanie will try to spin things, but they ain't the B show. He gave a prep talk, praised the roster, then called out Sami and Kevin Owens. Kevin mocked him for being a failure, and Sami said that he always makes excuses instead of apologising. Kevin said that him and Sami could be anyone on a given night, going on to say they could be all of Team Raw by themselves, even Brock Lesnar. Yeah, right.
Oh, of course.
Brock
Lesnar Kevin Owens match would be something I'd love to see, though.
That would be a class match. Yeah. Owens ended the apology, saying that he's the commissioner and told and that because he have no respect for anyone in WWE and no one in the roster. Sami agreed with all of this. Shane teased firing them, but then Kevin said you're too valuable since everyone looked up to them and respected them. Sami claimed that they are future Hall of Famers. Owens said they're 2 star stars in WWE. Shane then called them delusional and said everyone in SmackDown hated them. And Shane was about to fire him until Daniel Bryan arrived. saying that Shane has every right to fire them, but asked that Shane put his motions aside. Sami and Kane agree with them, and then Brian tells him to shut up. He has an idea that they put them in a. He first said that we put he sent Randy Orton home, otherwise he probably killed him.
Randy Orton was so angry about what happened. Yeah,
he was sent home.
Yeah. I do like the little seeds of doubt that's been going on between Daniel Bryan and Shane McMahon.
I love it.
Yeah. I love it. Like, they're little bits, but you can see something's growing there. They're putting the seeds of doubt there.
Slowly but surely.
Yeah. It could grow into a glorious feud.
Glorious feuds.
Just water it regularly, give it some sunlight,
the writers are getting good again. Or some of them are anyway.
Yeah.
They are. We criticise them for their booking, but their booking can be very good.
Well, SmackDown's booking is like pretty good, I'd say about 80% of the time. 20% is just Jinder Mahal.
Don't hinder the Jinder.
Anyway, Brian made Sami and Kevin against the New Day in a lumberjack match. Moving on, Shelton Benjamin against Jey Uso. The match finished with Gable distracting Jey, but Jey took him out, but then missed a top rope splash. Benjamin hit his pay dirt, he calls it, and covers for the win.
Yeah.
Again, I'm loving Chad Gable's heelish aggression.
Yeah, he's really. Obviously, like, I'm guessing storyline wise, they probably was like Benjamin's after teaching him this, that you need to have this streak and stuff like that. I like it.
Yeah, it works.
Yeah.
Now, the mirror image of what happened with Paige and Co. With Naomi was getting her makeup done back, but was upset about SmackDown losing. Ruby Riott, Liv Morgan, and Logan Bryce. Sarah Logan, just wrong.
Logan Bryce.
Logan Bryce.
Jeez, he just got a real big call up, didn't he?
Sarah Logan, excuse me. Just checking my coffee. They kicked the crap out of Naomi until Becky Lynch made the save.
Dave is nervous because we have a guest on the show.
I'm not that nervous. No, what's wrong with me today?
Come on.
I'm the perfect advertisement for Deep River Rock. Like I was saying to Nos in a few minutes. But anyway, they beat the crap out of Naomi and Becky Lynch. And then later on, they beat up, I think it was Natalya and Carmella during the women's match as well. So
Natalya,
almost in a Shield style, was also around the ring.
It was Natalya and Charlie.
Yeah,
and they also beat up Becky.
Yeah, in the back. So like again, this all adds up to, it's similar philosophy. Like it could possibly be a Rumble now with all this. Like so.
Yeah. Exactly. Like, are they gonna call themselves names? Like, is there gonna be a name for it?
If they call the Shield, don't call themselves the Shieldettes. Whatever you do.
Shieldettes. I heard that, and I was like, no, because it was like I don't know. Are they gonna go with it that these are two separate teams, or are they gonna go with the fact that like, oh yeah, like we decided to split up and three of us went here and three of us went there?
They were just kind of hanging with each other on the first day because they were all new kids, and now they've made their mark.
Yeah, I don't know. Like what? So you have Liv Morgan, Ruby Riott, and Sarah Logan. So Liv be Logan.
Liv be Logan.
Liv be Logan.
Logan Bryce.
Just call them Logan Bryce.
No, it'd be funny as hell if all three of them were just walking to the ring and like a Vince McMahon walk with glasses of whiskey in their hands. Let's talk about let's think of a name of Paige's tag team. Or Paige's group.
It's Paige, Mandy Rose.
Well, what was the tag team called when it was Becky Lynch and Charlotte with them back earlier?
PCB.
No, it wasn't called that first though. It was called something else, wasn't it?
It's not PCB.
It was, but they had something. It was like Submission something, and they had to change it because it was the name of a porn site.
Oh, I did not know. Dear God, I'm a good Christian boy. I don't know.
Oh, what was it called? It was like Submission Girls or something like that.
Submission Girls.
So and then they realized it was actually a porn site. People were searching Submission Girls and they were getting onto porn sites.
Where are they?
So they had to change it to PCB.
What's that site again for research?
Moving on. How do you pronounce these guys? The Bludgeon Brothers.
Bludgeon Brothers.
Excuse me.
Bludgeon Brothers. Dave.
They made their debut, squashing the Hypros
with their hammers, or
or were they bulging, Dave? Is that why they? Is that why they squashed them? Was it?
I'm drinking my water. I am not informed today. I do apologise, Peter.
Yes. It finally they debuted after people
weeks.
Yeah, after people thinking actually that the gimmick was not actually even going to air.
I like it actually.
It's good.
I like it. I'm sold on it. What do you think?
I don't mind it.
What do you think?
It's okay.
Look,
I'm just see how it develops.
For a first match, it's on the right track though.
Yeah.
I'm just happy that they're in a tag team and they're doing something. Because those two should not be just like left in the back doing nothing.
No,
I totally agree.
They're incredible superstars. Like they shouldn't be left on the shelf.
Did you see the tweet about from Bray Wyatt after they debuted?
What?
They were like, "Please come home." He actually sent the tweet out, "Please come home."
Oh, he misses them. AJ did a very cool promo saying like he hit Lesnar with everything. Like the man is a beast, like they say. Styles said he got his messages of congratulations and that he is a real life Rocky, but don't get trophies for second place after the match. He was the one lipping on the back, but remember Brock, if you ever want to do it again, Rocky wins in the sequel.
That was a great line.
I like that line. And then Jinder Mahal appeared on the screen saying it was too busy to come. He was too busy to come out. He was watching Styles loss against Lesnar over and over again, and claims that Styles took advantage of him when he wasn't ready. Had he faced Styles, he would have won. Or sorry, when he faced Lesnar, he would have won. Styles said he looked stupid, telling Mahal he looks well rested.
Can we talk about stupid for a second?
Yes.
The term the Beastmaster is stupid, right? It's not just me.
I am the Beastmaster.
Like, come on.
It sounds like a 90s Nickelodeon kid show.
Yeah, I know. It's like one of the Beastmaster, or it could have been like, you know, like a Takeshi's Castle style, like, you know, obstacle course show. That would be like the Beastmaster. Welcome to the Beastmaster, your Saturday night entertainment on ITV.
It's one of those. It's like one of those mazes that, but it has Brock Lesnar's face in the middle of it, or something like that. So, or the guy's chasing the Miss Brock Lesnar, or something like that.
Can you master the Beast? Find out Saturday 6 o'clock ITV.
Imagine how funny that would be as well if it was Brock Lesnar and Paul Heyman chasing around that face.
No. See, what would it be? It would be Brock Lesnar's face and Paul Heyman be the host of the show.
No. Paul Heyman's the one who does that horrible laugh when you fall into the water.
I'd be terrified if it was. I'd be more terrified of Paul Heyman chasing me around than Lesnar. At least with Lesnar, I know what he's going to do. Heyman's unpredictable.
Apparently, in the new video game, I was shocked by this because I was playing someone in it. His rating is 84.
Paul Heyman.
Paul Heyman's rating is 84.
Yeah.
Jeez.
He's as good as Dean Ambrose.
Jesus.
I'm just saying.
Do Mike's skills probably come in?
Yeah,
yeah. Mike's skills 99.
Yeah. But anyway, it was that promo anyway confirms that it will be Styles against Mahal at Clash of Champions anyway next month.
Yeah. Did you see when obviously the Sings came out afterwards and tried to attack AJ Styles during his promo, and Jinder was obviously on the screen, and Jinder's just there looking, and he's smiling when they're going afterwards, and then the look on his face when AJ comes back, it's kind of, oh, you know, what was that? I think it was the scene out of Father Ted, and Ted tells Dougal something. He was like, imagine, what was it? Do you remember the shock look Dougal gets on his face when he was thinking about something? He just goes, oh, no.
I remember the look, I just don't remember.
I don't know what it's about.
Was that the one when they're taking off in the plane?
No, I don't think it was that, was it?
He looked shocked.
Yeah, he was thinking about it, and then his faces were just...
Oh, is it when Ted was trying to describe to him, imagine if you got kicked up the arse?
Yes, that's what it was. Imagine if it was you getting kicked up the arse. No, Ted, I wouldn't like that at all.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was kind of like, that was like Jinder's face when they were getting attacked. What? How can this happen?
That's like the second kind of Father Ted thing you can link to Jinder. That was line. I hear you're a racist now, Jinder.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Someone listens to our show.
Yeah. Appreciate that. The match itself, anyway, between Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens, and the New Day in the Lumberjack match. Kofi tagged in, hit a high crossbody, covering for two. Owens made the save. Big E took out Owens. All four were down. Kofi sends Sami to the floor onto a bunch of lumberjacks. They end up fighting each other. Who started that, by the way? It was Corbin and Rude, I think it was. Yeah, punch each other.
Yeah. I think they're setting up a whole thing.
Yeah, that was it. Yeah. Sami rolled up Kofi for the win. Owens ran away. Sami still got beat up by the New Day. Kind of ironic considering what they got in trouble for the week before, actually, isn't it?
Is that was that the match where Was that the entrance, or was it the entrance at the start where we had bouncing Sami Zayn?
That was the entrance. Bouncing Sami Zayn was.
Oh, you know, I have
where
to...
it looks like the Nelson and Martin Prince.
Yeah, oh, yes!
Yeah.
That's brilliant.
It was actually perfect. I think they obviously looked at that and they were going to go for that.
No,
Hats off.
no, it's just The Simpsons telling the future again.
It was spot on. I thought Family Guy was the one telling the future.
Yeah.
No, Simpsons.
Anyway, Owens met up with Bryan afterwards, begged to not be fired, and okay, fine, you won't be fired. Recognise his talent, but you have to face Kevin Owens next week, or Randy Orton next week. So,
did you see this is another after off the air thing? Mm-hmm. Did you see there was obviously a dark match after it. Smackdown always do a dark match. It's normally like a match for the fans and stuff. But Bobby Roode was involved in it, and obviously his whatever he was doing, his team won or something like that. Maybe it was, but he got all the production crew to get in the ring with him, and they all did the glorious in the middle of the ring. Brilliant.
Yeah, it was pretty awesome. Now, before we continue, let's talk to yourself now about your show, the Superior comic show. If anyone hasn't heard it, what's it about?
Well, basically, it's a mess. The Superior comic show is I'm not saying it's better than every other comic show. It's
your show.
Yeah, it's named after my favourite run of Spider-Man. It was the Superior Spider-Man.
Okay.
Kind of period where Doc Ock took over Spider-Man's body. So I named it after that. A lot of people just think it's my ego. A little bit.
Yeah.
So I present that with my younger brother, who he loves the comic book movies, but has little to no experience with the actual comic books.
Okay.
So it's there's a teacher-student kind of thing there,
okay.
You know, kind of mentor-mentee. But as well, you see, with brothers, you're always going to have that bit of banter, the bit of slagging each other off. So there's that as well.
There's no case of arguments or anything like that, like because it's the brother sort of thing.
Well, I know my little brother can beat me up, so there's no arguments. Yes, it's what we do is I usually review the comics and
he does the movies.
Yeah, and every now and again we'll give him a graphic novel of a certain comic run to read, and we'll get his opinions on it. And we get all our Twitter fans involved. We tell them what book we're reading.
Nice.
They'll read it around the same time as us, and sometimes they send us video reviews and we'll watch them as well.
Cool. And you had Daragh obviously on your last show. So did you guys talk about like a wrestling sort of podcast or comic, or what was going on?
We discussed. We actually discussed the Justice League film.
Okay.
We went to see it a couple of days beforehand. And we had a nice lengthy discussion actually about it.
We did a really long discussion.
Yeah, a really long discussion. And then we just talked wrestling. Dean my younger brother had to go off to go training, so it was just me and Daragh, so we just sat back and discussed straight into the wrestling talk.
Nice.
Yep. And about just going back to your podcast then, this is a question actually that I wanted to ask on your show. I think it's good for this one. From you yourself, and it's interesting the way that you said about your brother as well, that he loves the movies.
Yeah.
Do you think that the movies now are causing a lot more people to go back to the comics, or not even go back, to actually start reading comics?
Oh, 100%. It's 5 years ago, if I had started up a comic show, I would not have, I don't have a huge following, but I would probably have no following.
Yeah.
The movies are getting big now. Obviously the merchandise, the toys, the retro looking t-shirts are coming back in, which means people all are going on Twitter after seeing a movie and they're seeing all these comments saying the comic was better or the comic had this and that, which is getting them interested. So they go out, buy the comic, read it, and it happened to me. The first comic I read was Ultimate Spider-Man. Came back out in 2000.
Okay.
And a lot of people, you read that one comic and you're hooked on at least that one title. So with me, I stuck with Spider-Man for years before I finally started branching out to other heroes.
Nice.
But you do eventually branch out, and although Spider-Man is still my most consistent comic bought, I've branched out to a lot more titles, even some DC titles. Yeah,
I find it very interesting actually, the comparison, especially around this country in the past couple of years, between wrestling and comic books in general. Because like you were saying, if it was a couple of years ago and you set up a comic podcast,
right,
it would have been so niche that it probably wouldn't have gotten the listeners, or probably wouldn't have gotten the popularity that it has. And I think wrestling is the same, especially here in Ireland.
Oh yeah.
The boom in the last 5 years, I want to say.
Well, particularly the last two.
Last two, for example, yeah. It's. I'm going to sound so old when I say this, but it's cool to be a wrestling fan, and it's cool
No,
to
it's
like.
fine.
It's cool to like comics now. And
we're grown,
normally
we're grown men who like wrestling. Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
Just like you're a grown man who likes comics.
Yeah. So and a lot of the time the two actually amalgamate together, because if you like comics, you like wrestling, or if you like wrestling, you like comics. But yeah, I just think the rise in both has just been extraordinary, and so it's a real pop culture thing right now as well. It's so popular. Both are. Like we talk enough about it on the show here, about the rise of Irish independent wrestling.
Of course,
here.
yeah.
Like selling out to 2,500 seater arenas now.
Yeah, OTT is like it's like most likely going to sell out. Like, you know,
and just even cinemas nowadays, you're looking at least 6 superhero movies releases a year, at least, and that has increased the popularity in the number of comics, and the volume of comics has actually increased as well. And I know from listening to the show that there's a definite increase in indie comics too. You reviewed one recently, actually, from an Irish. It wasn't an Irish.
It wasn't an Irish.
No.
It was an American guy.
American guy,
randomly reached out to me and asked me to review his. Say, have a look. Would I like to have a look at his indie book? And I said, yeah. Listen, I'll happily read a comic if I'm not paying for it. So yeah. So he sent it over, and I read it on the show. I read it and reviewed it on the show, and it was. I hear indie, and I hear a guy who's reaching out and asking people to read it, and straight away, there's something in my head. I think it's just something that kind of you're brought up with. I think, it's going to be terrible. So he's literally begging people to read it.
Yeah.
But when I look at it, it's the way you promote your stuff now is you need to get it out there to the few names that will help you promote it. And it was a fantastic book.
And outside of like science fiction comics, like do you tend to like cover a lot of comics like there'll be like based on true facts or anything like that, like or
I have read 1 or 2 issues of the WWE comic.
Okay.
That actually, there's one issue that covered Seth Rollins' cash-in at WrestleMania.
Really?
Yeah. And the artwork is incredible on it.
I say so.
I do want to go back and read more, but unfortunately comics, they're not like really expensive, but when you're buying enough of them at the same time,
it comes expensive, I imagine. So that's pretty awesome, man. So yeah, so best of luck here on your show anyway. So it should be awesome. But anyway, let's move on now to our previews of the week.
Why, look at what we have here, folks!
We just have a few to bring up, so but a lot of them are from OTT. Tomorrow, on Sunday, 26th of November, at the Ringside Club National Stadium in Dublin, is the 4th edition of OTT Contenders. Tickets are still available on November.ie. Matches include Curtis Murray against Kenny Williams versus Nathan Martin, LJ Cleary versus The Fabulous Nikki, Joe Coffey against Michael May, Jordan Devlin and Scotty Davis against Aussie Open, and Raven Creed against David Cattell. Also, the initiative of the top 3 performers on the nights will face British Strong Style at Being the Elite.
And it was also announced
that
Don Marnell is going to be picking the 3.
Yeah, the Legit 100, they apparently called it. That'd be the stable name. I like it.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah. Now, a really interesting event is coming up 2 weeks on Friday, on December 8th. The first ever White Collar Wrestling from Mags that will be taking place at the Hangar in Dublin. Tickets are available on November.ie, with all events going to the Mags Edge Surgery Fund with the help of Fight Factory Pro Wrestling. Matches announced, they have two matches announced for the Joes versus Pros White Collar Wrestling, where Ian Holland will take on Be Cool and Jay Money will take on Justy.
Ian Holland, friend of the show.
Yeah.
And it's really happy to see that he's going to be actually on the show as well.
I can't wait.
Talking to him, he's been training for a while towards us, and he already has an MMA background as well. So it's going to be very interesting to see. I can't wait to see this match. And Joe Money, I don't know an awful lot about Joe Money.
You look at the pictures and think this will be interesting.
Yeah, and against Justy as well, so it's going to be pretty cool.
Yeah.
Also, it was announced that Jordan Devlin's going to be in the main event too.
Yeah.
I can't remember who's he facing
He
again.
didn't confirm his opponent yet, as far as I'm aware. He will be
As far as I'm
defending.
aware, I think it was confirmed.
I'm not sure yet, but he will be defending his Irish Junior Heavyweight title. LJ Cleary will also take on Scotty Davis. The Super Nintendo Bros, Valkyrie, Debbie Cattell, Nathan Martin, Sammy D. Oh, you're right, Sammy D. Thank you. Sammy D's opponents.
Thank you. Yeah.
And Clayton Long will also announce for that show as well. Yeah. Going back to OTT, Being the Elites, the very next day, Saturday the 9th of December at the National Stadium in Dublin. Tickets available on eventbrite.ie. So many good matches. Cody versus Ray Phoenix versus Flip Gordon, triple threats.
Yep.
Young Bucks and Marty Scurll against Dalton Castle and the Boys. Paul Tracy against Bobby George Jr. As we talked about, British Strong Style against Legit 100, if that's what they're going by.
Yep.
The Kings of the North against Zach Gibson, Charlie Sterling and Shea Samuels for the
thought that was going to happen.
OTT tag team titles. Yeah.
With him, yeah.
Selection Mont Martina versus Kaylee Ray for the women's title, and of course, main events, Mark Haskins and Jordan Devlin for the NLW title. What a match. Did you see that promo, by the way? About
I haven't. That's what I was going to mention. I haven't seen it yet, but there's a new promo. I think all the OTT performers gave their opinion on what the match is going to be like.
Yeah.
If you need hype, watch that video.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, Mojo should watch that video. He'll get hyped after watching that.
OTT Aftershock is then taking place the very next night, which is an over 14s event. That'll be taking place on Sunday, December 5th at the Mandela Hall in Belfast. Tickets still available on eventbrite.ie. There will be a banter bus. Tickets available also on eventbrite.ie with a pick-up at the Tivoli Theatre from 2 p.m. here in Dublin. Matches announced so far includes Dalton Castle and the Boys to take on the Angel Cruisers, and a mystery opponent claims to be I Am Cool. Have you seen the promo for this, actually?
Yeah, I have. Yeah, it's
apparently Be Cool's brother.
It's Be Cool's brother.
I thought it was going to be Carlito.
Imagine if it was Carlito. That would be brilliant.
Yeah. Jordan Devon will also take on Speedball Mike Bailey. That's going to be a quality match, actually.
Yeah.
Ray Phoenix, Kingston North and Session Mount Martina are all set to appear. Now, also, WWE have announced their details for their European tour next year. They'll be back in Dublin here in May 2018. Apparently, both rosters are involved, but I can't confirm details yet. But tickets are on sale for that next Wednesday at Ticketmaster.ie.
Is it a 2-night show or 1-night show?
1-night show. They're going around Europe. I think they're going England, Scotland, the likes, and so on and so forth. So
interesting.
Should
for
be
both shows going on its European tour.
Makes sense because it makes some brands, I think, for some of the live shows, I think, weren't they?
Yeah, maybe.
We'll see what happens anyway.
Interesting.
Anyway, we'll move on and finish off our show now with our yes nos.
Yes! No! Yes! No! Yes! No!
So there's a good few yes nos to bring up this week. Brock versus Strowman at the Royal Rumble.
No.
See, again, because the speculation was Brock versus Finn Balor.
Already happened.
Yeah, but then Brock. That's a good point. That's the thing. That's why it's a weird match. So,
and it wasn't a good match.
It was kind of straight. It was booked very weirdly. Anyway,
it was booked very poorly. It was a single. See, the thing is, I think the way forward with Braun Strowman is they're going to be putting him in stiff matches all the time. Like they're going to have him and Kane fight soon, obviously in the match, and it's going to be a stipulation. I bet.
Chairs match.
No, it won't be. I think it'll be in a cage or something like that. I think it'll be a steel cage or something. Well, actually, no. Braun's been in a few steel cages, so they might do something else. Might do a false count anywhere or something like that, or street fight or something like that. You know, Buried Alive. Haven't seen that in a while.
I was just thinking about. I don't think they could find.
Have you ever? That's Undertaker's match. Wouldn't do that.
Undertaker
Kane still, like, you know,
maybe
Undertaker returns during the match.
If they do it on the 25th anniversary of Raw, that's when he's going to be there.
The next year's Money in the Bank pay-per-view to be co-branded. We talked about this already.
Well, yes, it's confirmed.
It's confirmed.
Yeah,
make it more true. I agree with that. Women's Royal Rumble to take place next year, especially now with the new NXT resurgence to the women's division. Now,
I'm gonna say yes because I want to see it happen, not because I think it's going to happen.
Yeah,
next year is in the Royal Rumble coming. So
yes, in January. Yeah.
No, I think I'll take it. I think they'll wait and build it up over.
Apparently now there's exactly 20 women now in both from both. But if they add people from NXT and maybe they have people like Kelly or Michelle McCool, which were rumored to come back as well, like because they both hinted returns.
They would definitely, if it was for the first ever Women's Royal Rumble, they would definitely have maybe about 3-4 legends come back for sure.
Why not? Yeah. Miz losing the Intercontinental title due to filming commitments.
Yeah.
Doing the
Marine 75 or something.
It's Marine 6. Becky Lynch is involved in this, apparently.
I heard, yeah. I wonder how that's going to work out. She's obviously not going to be talking.
It's about time she got a win, like, to be honest. Like.
How'd you know? She could be like the first person to die on it.
She's still getting paid.
Someone else is in it. Is Kurt Hawkins or something in it?
No,
someone low down the card.
Oh, who was it again? I actually don't know. I tell you for new.
It's not Enzo.
Batista to return to WWE.
Actually, I wouldn't mind him getting like blown by a bazooka. That'd be class.
Yeah, he'd sell it very well, wouldn't he?
Yeah.
Batista to return to WWE.
Yes.
I really don't want to. I really don't.
Why not?
It just why would he? He has such a good career as a film
He
film
says
guy.
himself it's going to be a full-time schedule, so why not?
I don't know.
If he's not going to be a part-timer, I'm all for it.
If he's, I'm just wondering, is he capable of it?
He obviously is. If he's saying yes.
What do you think?
I'm kind of worried that means Drax is going to die in the next Guardians of the Galaxy. But yeah, I think
Miz is on a full-time schedule and he's getting time off the film.
That's true as well. Now, finally, this one's a bit of a two-parts one. AJ Styles to retire in 2019 or at least go part-time.
Now, he is 39, so...
He just turned 40. The reason I bring this up is because he brought it up in some interview. I don't know which one it was.
Read that myself.
And he said that, like, because how patient his wife has been with him for the last 17 or 19 years for the marriage, however long it's been, and saying, like, no, I want to see my kids grow up, like, do football games and charity games. So, like, he expects another 2 years. There's another 2 years left in his current WWE contract.
Yeah.
So it could be speculated. He said in a couple of years. Like, that could be speculated. Mean 2, or he could mean...
I think he's deserved it.
Yeah,
I think he's deserved the chance to go part-time if he wants to.
Yeah.
You know, by that time that his contract is up in 2019, he would have been WWE, 4 years?
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah. Fine.
Yeah, part-time.
3 years, sorry, he would have been. Yeah, 3 years he would have been WWE full-time. Yeah, he deserves it.
Makes sense, I suppose, yeah. Anyway, that's all the time we have for this week on The Kickouts, your weekly pro wrestling guide, right here on 90.3 Near FM, the EMC podcast network, and all good podcasting providers. Make sure to check us out on Facebook at facebook.com/The Kickout Wrestling, my Twitter at the Dave Bandana, and Darah's at
Mars Bar.
Now, before we move on, so where can we find your show, Peter, on all the social media and so on?
Well, we're on same as yourselves, the EMC podcast network.
Cool.
We're also on iTunes as the Superior Comic Show, and we're on Spreaker. Yeah, so the same Superior Comic Show. I will hopefully get it onto more podcasting sites.
Cool.
It's just kind of finding the time to, export and stuff.
Yeah.
If you want to follow you on Twitter, what's the Twitter handle?
Twitter handle is at Superior Comic 16.
Awesome. Cool, awesome stuff. Anyway, we're back to as usual, to talk about all the latest developments in the world of pro wrestling. But here in about now, obviously, we'll go out with this. We usually go out with like a song of our theme or something like that because of Kamala's recent health issues. I think we heard it back as theme and thought it's kind of a random way to go out, but
it gets better. You grow into it.
It does get better. We were listening to the start of the show and we thought this is class. So let's do that. Peter, thanks so much for joining us on the show. It's terrific having you on.
Thanks for having me, lads. I've had a great time.
Absolutely. So until next week, I've been Dave Cullen. He's been Daragh Maher. Thanks again, Peter. This has been The Kickouts. Thank you so much for listening and have a great weekend.